Hello everyone and welcome back to the SL and Shiro podcast. This is episode 3. Today we are talking about Kingdom Hearts. I am your co-host SL and I have Shiro with me, and today we have a special guest if they want to introduce themselves.
Hello.
You're gonna tell them who you are?
I'm Axolotal. I have a Twitter account.
He's the meme master, as we call him, or at least I call him that.
I'm the guy who posts funny good morning tweets on Twitter.com.
Yes. So if you want someone to shout "Good morning" at, there you go. Go follow Axolotal on Twitter.
I'll shout it very loudly into your ears.
He's caused severe brain and ear damage to me because of his good morning shouting.
You will
I am
never
unable
recover.
to hear half the things in life because of him. Alright, so yes, as SL said, we're going to cover Kingdom Hearts this episode. And, but before we go into that, we thought, we have a guest on, so, we thought we should give him some common courtesy. So, Axolotal, this is a video game podcast. I'm not sure if you knew that. Okay, so do you want to, give us, some, background into how you got into video games?
Oh, this is gonna be funny.
Do you remember?
Yes,
I've never heard the story, so I'm ready.
I think the first video game I ever played was this old X-Men beat 'em up with my dad, and then the second video game I ever played, which is the funniest one, was Skyrim. I booted up my dad's save file and accidentally got his character in jail, and then I never played it again.
Your dad was like, "What the fuck, man?"
I think he was playing a Khajiit, which is like a cat person.
Oh, he deserved to go in jail. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I was an anime cat boy. Trust me, Khajiit are like actual cat people.
Okay, all right.
Um,
I'm sorry, but you're saying that reminds me of a time when I was really little. It's just I played Pokemon Heart Gold, I think it was, on my DS, and one time when I was away hanging out with family, my dad just grabbed my DS and started playing the Pokemon game for me, and he handed it back hey, your one of your Pokemon evolved. Like, oh, thanks.
cool.
Oh, I got a
You
cool
saying
man. Oh, that's sick.
I can have someone else do it for me?
No, I couldn't.
Without
He
paying
said,
them?
I can pay them?
Yeah, how does a 9-year-old have money, SL? But I don't know how Ireland works, but
Ireland is a different place.
yeah. Okay, sorry, Axel, I cut you off there. So,
No, you're fine.
okay, so your journey started off with an X-Men beat 'em up, and then Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the first video game you remember that was yours, or video game console? Either way.
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Good choice.
Yeah, Uncharted was my shit. It was my first game series I owned. I think the first video game merch I ever got was Nathan Drake's ring that he has around his neck.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I have it somewhere in all my boxes.
So, have you seen the movie then?
Oh no, but I want to see it so bad.
I have seen the
I
movie.
hope it's not bad. Is it bad?
No, it's actually pretty good. Just don't go in expecting a
thank-
retelling of the games.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God.
Just don't go in
I was so
expecting
worried.
a retelling of the games and you'll be fine.
I was so worried because they didn't make Sully old.
Yeah, they didn't.
Okay, well, to get this back on track with the outro topic of the episode, Axolotal, can you tell us, how specifically did you get into Kingdom Hearts of all things?
Oh, I would love to. So my first experience with Kingdom Hearts was back when I was just a wee little lad. I was over at my grandparents' house, and my uncle, he lives with them, and he bought Kingdom Hearts 1.5. And he let me play it at his house. I think the first time I played it, I got as far as Deep Jungle, and then could not make it past Clayton.
Oh.
And then I think I eventually got a bit farther, and then a few years later I got a bit farther and got to the worst world ever, Atlantica.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah.
And then just a few years ago, when Kingdom Hearts 3 was close to releasing, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and play the whole series. So then I beat all the games, and it was a wild ride for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kingdom
the series
Hearts
is
is one
definitely
hell of a
well
drug.
True.
But yeah, SL and I, we mentioned this in our first episode, but he and I got into the series through Let's Plays, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have like an uncle who played cool video games.
Yeah. Yeah. I was the first gamer in our family, so.
The first of the generation.
Oh no. They're like, you brought dishonor on our family.
You were supposed to be a farmer.
You were supposed to be the chosen one, SL.
It's funny when you know how much of Ireland are actually farmers. It's a lot. It's a lot more than you'd expect.
Yeah, it's Ireland. It's Ireland.
That's Axolotal's like only justification. It's Ireland.
Yeah, that person grew up next to that patch of grass right there.
We'll now go over Kingdom Hearts, just in generally, without going into spoilers, as like a whole series. You know, maybe the person watching this who somehow hasn't played Kingdom Hearts can.
Doing if you haven't played it, play it right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do
Definitely
it, but,
play it if you haven't played it.
That extra step convincing.
Do it or else.
Watch this opening portion, I guess. But let's see. Kingdom Hearts, of all things, just came to be because of an elevator ride.
Imagine that.
Literally, its origins are a miracle.
Yes, exactly. Like Tetsuya Nomura, man of legend. He decided that's his full name, by the way.
God bless.
Yes. He was was a character designer for Final Fantasy. Like he did a few designs here and there for like earlier games, but it was like Final Fantasy VII where he got to be like the lead designer, I think.
Classic Tetsuya Nomura.
And that's why with the Kingdom Hearts franchise, you don't see many characters from before 7 because Nomura only likes including characters that he designed.
Which is why Squall, for some reason, is there as well.
Yes.
Just completely breaking the mold.
Yeah, yeah. But Nomura was just like at one point he thought about like, man, you know, there's Mario, there's Zelda, there's all this. I want characters that are really popular in gaming, maybe as popular as like Disney characters for animation. And one of his managers, I guess, was just like, "Ha, that never happened." And look where he is now.
But wasn't it like at the time how it happened? Is that like
oh wait,
I think like a Square Enix exec and like Disney and Square Enix Japan kind of like shared a building.
Yeah, it was Square at the time and
like,
Disney Japan shared a building.
I think that original intention for that meeting was like for licensed games kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Nomura, I must have misremembered the story, but yeah, I think it's like Nomura heard about that meeting. It's just like, I got an idea, and so drew a monkey boy with a chainsaw.
That's our boy.
That's the boy.
And how do you think Disney responded to that?
Have you guys heard of Chainsaw Man? Imagine if that's what the main character looked like.
No.
That's what Sora became to be.
Denji, no.
Denji, no. So yes, Kingdom Hearts. For those who somehow don't know, have been living under several rocks. Kingdom Hearts is a collaboration between Square Enix and Disney, and it's basically the MCU before it was cool.
It really is, though.
Yeah, it really was. That was my multiverse of badness.
Oh, definitely. I want to make a YouTube video where I'm just like, if we made like a whole series of movies about Kingdom Hearts, you following the MCU format, I would love to do that. Okay, we keep getting off track here.
That's what happens when you talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah,
It is,
definitely. I mean, to be fair, I am talking to two Rendo PFPs, so the viewers probably won't be able to see it, but it's true. Both of these two have Rendo PFPs.
I am in fact a Rindokin.
I just look like him.
Oh,
Okay, hold
true.
on. In order to appeal to like American audiences who were like big fans of Disney, obviously, they decided to make it less like a normal turn-based RPG and made it more of an action kind of RPG, which now Final Fantasy has become.
It's full circle.
It's full circle, yeah.
Globalization at its finest.
The Western appeal.
The Western appeal. I mean, you already had, you know, well, I can't say you had Mickey Mouse because he wasn't around at the very beginning, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Okay, guys, looking out.
Huh?
Oh my god, I see it.
What?
Just for this once.
Let's-
All right.
Oh, nice.
Just this one.
Yes.
Yo, Brindles, let's go.
This is getting out of hand. Now there's 3 of them.
Oh no.
Now all three of us
but-
go back in time at the exact same moment.
Oh god.
Rewind.
Yeah. Well, Minamimoto's just like, this is what happens when you time travel too much.
There's 3 of you.
Should have watched Back to the Future. Okay, hold on. We're jumping the gun here. But Kingdom Hearts, was released, like the very original one was released in like 2001, was it? I think it was around there.
In fact,
Like
check.
very early 2000s, for sure. Definitely.
March 28th, 2002.
Okay, alright, 2002. Alright. March 28th?
Yes.
Oh, damn, I was like born the day before its 1 year anniversary. How about that?
Whoa!
Damn it. One more day.
One more day.
You were so close,
All
Shiro.
right.
You were so close. You had one job.
Damn it.
One job. Why were you born that day?
You are the main character, Sora, a very precious boy. And he teams
Literal
up
ray of
with,
sunshine.
of all people, Donald Duck and Goofy the dog to save worlds from being consumed by darkness. And darkness
Darkness.
takes on many forms. The most well known of which are the Heartless, which we will get into.
We will talk about.
But you know, how does a young boy fight the creatures of the dark? Well, obviously with a giant key. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah,
Love.
forget about your swords and
What
your
else?
lances and axes. Just use a giant key.
Yeah.
Just whack 'em. Bonk.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
somehow cut
don't you
buildings
want to
with
be a
it.
main character with like a heart of pure gold while also breaking into people's places?
Give me all your money.
No, I feel like I both described Kingdom Hearts and Legend of Zelda right now.
Give me all your pots.
Give me all your rubies. Yes, Kingdom Hearts is infamous for having all of its games somehow connect, which is great when it's like, you know, again with the whole MCU thing. It's like, you know, all the movies are connected, but you know, not everyone has the time to get multiple game consoles with for just one game, really.
Because it was on the PS2, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, PSP, literally everything.
Yes, I feel, I don't know if this is actually true, but I heard somewhere that Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, the GBA version, originally started out as its own thing, you know, just like trying to put Kingdom Hearts on the GBA. But then Nomura's just like, wait, I thought of something, and everyone in the
Cards.
dev team was like, oh no.
Oh, and Nomura thinks it's bad.
He's like standing in the goddamn corner, just being
And
like,
then, just out of nowhere, you just hear,
Be quiet.
and then out of
Very
nowhere, you
well.
just hear, cards.
No, 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 no.
Kingdom Hearts is a mess, but it's a beautiful mess with stellar music and the characters that you just really just want to see happy.
Boss fights make you want to rip your hair out.
Yeah, that too, but you know,
Mysterious
we
figure.
don't need to get into that right now.
Lingering
But,
will.
We'll get into it, Axel.
Oh, okay. Fine,
Oh,
okay.
wait, I gotta keep calling you just your full name, Axolotal, because it's gonna get confusing when we talk about spoilers.
Oh yeah, I will. I didn't even realize.
But anyway, so you know, there are a lot of twists, turns. It definitely does feel like the love child of Final Fantasy and Disney, because you get all like the Disney simple ways of storytelling with like Final Fantasy themes.
You get Cloud
So,
like decapitating people in the Coliseum, and then Donald Duck's in the corner just.
Like if
You
Donald
get to
Duck
see
does a frog
Goofy
face.
talk with Sephiroth.
Hook? Isn't he the dark part of Cloud? I can't do impressions to save my life.
Isn't he the dark part of Cloud?
You what?
Yes, you know what, Goofy? Yes. Like all the spin-off games, giant like
spin-off
Very close
quotation
there.
marks.
Yeah, there you go. But like the only one that's like not like an action platformer as far as I can remember is Melody and Memory, like the most recent one.
Yeah, it was just straight up a rhythm game.
And recoded
Persona-
for parts
I
of it.
said in the Persona episode, if your music slaps, you gotta get a rhythm game at some point.
Exactly.
And Norma finally got to make a musical.
I know, right? Amazing. That
Next-
didn't suck.
Next up is High School Musical, The
Oh, no.
World.
Also, I also said this in the Persona episode as a joke, but now that Axolotal is here, he can agree with me. I cannot wait for Xenoblade Chronicles, the rhythm game.
Please.
Please.
I want to see Ryan do that yoinky sploinky.
and bust the move.
Ryan needs to do the yoinky sploinky.
Imagine if they make a fucking song called Rhyme Time.
Right, now it's Ryan time.
Asshole sitting in the corner like, I don't get these references, but okay.
I'm
You will learn.
I'm like aware.
You will know our names.
You will learn.
Yes, there are also many other characters outside of Disney and Final Fantasy, its own original characters that Nomura just really loves and sometimes doesn't know what to do with. But we'll get into that.
We'll talk about it. It all connects.
It all connects somehow.
Reconnect.
You know what, but just to wrap things up, the Disney worlds for a lot of the series don't really connect to like the main story of the game.
They're used to further the themes of each game, really.
Yeah.
Right, yes, of course. And just to give you a fun little ride through Disney Adventure with Sora and Friends, which Sora and Friends definitely sounds like the Kingdom Hearts TV show we missed out on.
Oh please, the sitcom, the Quadratum sitcom.
Every episode ends with Sora and Goofy just jumping into the air, and it's just everywhere you look.
Freeze frame.
Yes, amazing. Alright, okay, I feel like we tried our best, but that's as much as we can really talk about without going into spoilers.
Yeah, we tried our best, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's as far as we can go without talking about spoilers.
Us discussion about random shit doesn't convince you to play these games yourself. I don't know what's wrong with you.
like we can't talk about Kingdom Hearts like we do Persona because every game's connected. Like unlike Persona,
Right,
where
that's
you
what
can
I was
just
saying,
go.
yeah.
I don't know. You can do 3, 5, 4, and everything will be fine.
If somehow you're watching this without having played Kingdom Hearts and you were looking at this video to like maybe get yourself convinced,
You picked the wrong video.
pro tip: play in release order.
Yeah.
Yep.
Play in release order. God, please.
The collections will tell you to play Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts days before 2. Don't do that.
not
Don't
play,
do
they
it.
tell you to watch 3, 5, 8 over
Oh,
2
yeah,
days.
you know what I mean. Play,
I know what you
Kingdom
mean.
Hearts 2 and then do days.
It's like, I mean, yeah, chronologically that makes sense, but oh god.
You will
It
not
ruins
understand.
the mystery of
It
Roxas.
really does. But okay, alright. Let's finally get into spoilers. So, we devised, so I have a list of the games in release order, and we will be going over them, one at a time, focusing on the story.
Speedrun all the games.
You know what? Yes. But, we can, like, because there is, like, a few games we definitely want to focus on.
I feel like I know what one of them is.
Oh, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, so yes, Kingdom Hearts 1. Let's the fresh beginnings of this series. I feel like it holds up really well today. I won't lie.
Yeah, it
I'd
definitely
agree.
does. After recently finishing a replay of it, it's still very good.
Yeah, I replayed it like this time last year, so I'd say it holds up pretty well.
Yeah, so it definitely had like that sign of like this is the first game in a series. We're just starting to know like what we want to do with it.
We're just slapping random stuff on here, see what works.
Right, well, it's still like again, it does hold up, but you can definitely tell like compared to other games, this was definitely like where everything started. It has its rough edges.
I'm pretty
Still-
sure it's the game with like the most platforming elements in the series.
Oh yes,
Oh, absolutely.
for better or worse. Sora's jump where he just spreads his legs wide open.
Jumping across
And then
those
high
those.
jump, where he does a backflip.
Hey, you know what? That's cool though.
That is cool.
But yes, we have a. There's also the world selection could be kind of weird at points because you had Wonderland and Olympus Coliseum. Wonderland doesn't show up all that much. Olympus Coliseum is the exact opposite.
You keep on going back.
Yeah,
exactly.
you can't complete it until like near the very end of the game, even though it's like one of the first.
The only game that doesn't have Olympus Coliseum, as far as I'm aware, is Dream Drop Distance, but that's because of story reasons, because of the lore.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Definitely, we'll get to that. But I feel like we're gonna focus a lot more on the second half of this list. Then you go to Deep Jungle, which definitely hasn't shown up because of rights issues.
I feel like that might have been for the better.
Yes, it definitely does suck. It's just kind of funny looking at Chain of Memories being like, man, we're going through all our memories, aren't we? And it's just like the Deep Jungle card got lost on one of the floors.
Wait, Deep Jungle isn't in Recom? I swear to God it was. Oh my God, it was.
No, it wasn't in Recom. Trust me, I know.
No, it wasn't.
It got replaced with Twilight Town.
Oh, well, based, honestly.
Yeah, of course. But, then, you go back to Traverse Town, which, where all the Final Fantasy characters are at, and everybody's
still
like,
one of the best worlds in the series.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely got a kind of small town kind of vibe, but in a charming way. And there's, the Final Fantasy characters. There's Sid, who fixes up your gummy ship to teleport, which, trust me, is not as useful as you think it is as we go through the series. But then you go through other worlds such as Agrabah, Halloween Town, and Monstro. Not like Pinocchio's world that just happens to have Monstro in it. No, just Monstro.
Yep. You're just inside the whale.
We don't get to see more until Dream Drop Distance.
I think it was explained that the world was already lost by the time of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Except the whale is just alive and in space.
Yeah, so the whale is just floating through space, which, I mean, it is Monstro. Space whales, let's go.
Space whale.
Then you go to Neverland and you encounter Riku for the first time in forever. I mean, you did see him in Traverse Town for like all 5 seconds. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna use darkness to save Kairi. Sora calls him stupid because Sora just be fucking badass like that.
True.
Yeah. And then finally you go to Hollow Bastion, which that's definitely where like Kingdom Hearts 1 definitely peaks in terms of like world design, because that world is so cool in Kingdom Hearts 1.
One of my favorites.
Definitely.
I remember watching a video about Kingdom Hearts 1, and it like brought up like the cool detail that Traverse Town is like Final Fantasy like small towns. Meanwhile, one of the final worlds, Hollow Bastion, was like one of the like futuristic cities you would see near the end of a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's like really cool. And for some reason, Beast is there.
Just because.
Because he doesn't have a gummy ship or anything.
He travels it through sheer willpower.
Yeah, you know what? Beast is just amazing. He's an icon. We love him.
He's the second character in the series who utilizes willpower.
He's so strong, he breaks the laws of physics.
He literally does what Terra does.
We need to all aspire to be like Beast.
Yes.
So true. He's a real one.
Yeah. And then the big plot twist happen in Hollow Bastion. The first of which is Riku just steals the Keyblade from Sora, being like, "Oh, I was its chosen one," except no, you weren't. We'll get into that. But yeah. So the whole thing was like on Destiny Islands when it was getting consumed by the darkness. It was like Riku decided to accept the darkness. And he had already left by the time the Keyblade could show up, so it just chose Sora. It's like, well, you're the next best option, I guess.
You know what? I guess you're here. Hey, you got a Keyblade wielder inside you.
I was rewatching cutscenes of Birth by Sleep, and during that Destiny Island segment, it was just like, oh, should I give Sora a Keyblade? No. Giving both of them Keyblades will definitely like cause like a rift in their friendship. Like it already did, whether you did or didn't.
I feel like giving it to only one of them would cause an even bigger one.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. But then the whole thing where it's like, Sora decides to just tag along with Beast to get into the castle where they're attacked by Riku. Don and Goofy have already left Sora because they don't care about him. They only care about the Keyblade.
They don't want to be
Yeah.
executed by their king.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know what? Goofy is a fearless man, so he decided to defend
goes
Sora
Ultra
and be like,
Instinct.
you know what, Donald, I'll see you on the other side.
Goofy goes Ultra Instinct.
Oh damn, for sure, dude. It only happened in that one moment in the series, but it happened.
It sure happens.
And then Sora gets the Keyblade back. We have the first instance of my friends are my power. And then you beat Riku's ass. Then this man in a brown robe just shows up since the very beginning of the game. You're like, hey, I got this cool dang darkness stuff. You want some of it?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Riku's like, give it here. And then you find out that guy in the brown robe is Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. I have to specify that for reasons.
That title is important.
It's very
I mean,
important.
you knew like the guy in the brown robe when he was introduced in Destiny Islands. We knew he was gonna be the final boss somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
I figured he was gonna be really important at least.
Yeah.
Right. But did you think like when you were collecting like these Ansem reports, did you think it was gonna be him?
Maybe?
There was
He's
2017,
definitely up
dude.
there
I
as
don't
a
remember back
suspect,
that
because
far.
You don't ever see him in the game until that point, until like he possesses Riku and everything.
That was funny.
He's definitely on the
Riku
list.
got possessed.
It's also interesting how it's like Kingdom Hearts 1, it definitely uses its Disney and Final Fantasy characters the most, because there's only like 4 original characters in the first game.
Yeah. There
Because
really
there's
ain't
the
a lot
main
of original
trio,
characters.
Sora, Riku, and Kairi, and then there's Ansem, and that's it. Everyone else is Disney or Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, let's loop back to Olympus Coliseum for like the extra bosses. So we have like the Titans, or at least you only fight 2 of them, right? The ice and the rock one.
Yeah, the rest are in
Think?
other games.
Right. And then you fight Hades, which happens a lot in the series, frankly.
You also fight Cerberus.
Cerberus, and then
The
you
dog.
fight Sephiroth at the big final boss, final extra boss. And if you do beat him, you get this cool extra cutscene where Cloud, it turned out Sephiroth was the one he was looking for in Olympus Coliseum. And then the two have a cool epic battle that gets cut off before you can see who wins. But because of, if you wanted to know how the battle ended, play Final Fantasy VII, I guess.
Yep, that's canon.
And that's how you market a video game.
I like how the outside of Sephiroth and another boss, which we will get into, like shortly. The other secret bosses are kind of just heartless or just like original monsters that Nomura created.
Kurt Saiza, I think, his name was like from like this contest where like
Oh,
yeah,
Right,
in this
yes.
contest and he was put in this
That
game.
was the admirable one.
He was the only super boss I beat.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, I managed to beat all of them except the big one that was added in Final Remix.
I got all
Oh,
of them.
him.
God, that took me forever. I still haven't beaten him. I need to get back to that. But
Yeah, something I've done.
There's also like that. What was it? Like what was that? That Phantom in like Neverland.
Yeah, it was
It's
the
like
Phantom.
you
couldn't beat
had
him.
a timer basically.
I
Mhm.
couldn't beat him because he was too fast for me to hit him.
Right. Yeah. And then in Final Remix, to fix a continuity error with Kingdom Hearts 2, they include an extra boss against this black hooded figure who doesn't have dialogue. Well, he does, but it's not
voice.
which get used to that for secret bosses, super secret bosses, I should say. Okay, I can't be the only one who first saw. I bet a lot of people when they first saw that fight, just thought like, "Dang, Darth Maul."
Wars!
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know Star Wars too well, so I didn't actually think about that.
Fair
But
enough. You might want to brush up on your history. I'm in case Kingdom Hearts 4 features Star Wars.
I know, but it's so much
will.
to catch
It
up
will.
on.
I'm calling it.
It's
I'm
gotta.
calling it,
It's
it will.
gotta. Yeah, and then after beating him, you get like this super secret Ansem report where he brings up this thing called a nobody with a capital N, which is very much important. but if you don't know the other games, you're like, why the fuck is this capitalized?
Yeah, well, why is that an important thing?
But we'll get into that. It's kind of like, if either of you played this game called Myst.
I don't think I have.
I have not actually.
It was like, I watched a Let's Play of it, and it's basically when they re-released the game, they included like this little extra puzzle that if you solve it, gives you like a sort of like, hint towards like what was the next game in the series, which is, you know, really cool when developers do that. You know, make connections between the games like more obvious. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, I think, is there anything specific we want to talk about, like Kingdom Hearts 1's story or gameplay specifically?
I want to talk about how there's this one scene in Deep Jungle that I actually really like when they're going through the slideshow or whatever,
Oh yes.
and they go to that castle, and how it's sort of
Well-
double symbolism for
Right.
for when it's revealed that Kairi is actually within Sora's heart the whole time, and also it might
Bang.
be about Ventus. Yes.
Oh yes. I
So
didn't even notice that.
Right. So it's either Sora's recognizing it as Hollow Bastion or Land of Departure, or maybe even both.
Yeah, you know, because there's not the castle doesn't really look like either.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed the Kyrie
Oh.
connection. I just didn't notice the Ven connection.
And yeah.
Nomura was crazy. He planned that whole time.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Nomura's quiet, but he's powerful. He's thinking.
He was like quiet but
Just don't know
powerful.
why.
Cards.
Okay, before we get into that game, fight Ansem in like what is basically called, it's literally called End of the World.
Yep.
It's basically just
Basically
like,
hell.
yes, it's
you
like
literally-
the
you literally
afterlife
fight
for
Chernobyl.
all the worlds that were destroyed by darkness, and it's basically just a gateway into the realm of darkness.
You literally fight Chernobog, an actual demon in that world.
Right. That came out of nowhere, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's cool, but oh my god.
And the friggin' Fantasia music started blasting.
Yeah.
I do like the design of End of the World, because there are parts
It's
of it
so
where
cool.
it's just like, you recognize, you can like go back and recognize like, oh, this was like this world that was featured in a different game or something, but you know, it definitely has that feeling like none of it really connects. There's this one set of rooms where you go to each of the worlds that you've already been
Oh.
to. When you go to Hollow Bastion, it's this whole new room that you could never access before in the actual world, and you still can't access after. This is like a one-time thing. And it's this room with like these giant containers. And you read like this whole paragraph of stuff, and they fight Heartless, and then you're out of there, and then you never see that room
room.
again.
I remember that
Well,
room.
you do see that room again, but not until like way later on.
Like current
Yeah,
day
that-
later.
Like
The
seriously.
current day.
But outside of that, see, you fight Ansem Seeker of Darkness. You know, he takes on the Final Fantasy approach, just having form after form after form.
He literally turns into a boat.
Yeah, you know, and you know what? Kind of based. Then you
Ansem
finally
yacht.
see like this giant white door, and Ansem's just like, Kingdom Hearts, that is darkness, and you know, he
Sora's
tries
like,
to open
nah.
the door, and Sora's just like, Kingdom Hearts is light, and Sora somehow is actually right about that, and Ansem's like, it burns,
And then he dies. And we never see him again.
we definitely don't see him again.
Wink.
But you know, the problem with Ansem opening the door is that, yeah, Kingdom Hearts is light, but light always casts his shadow, so Kingdom Hearts is in the dark realm.
Yeah, that's silly.
So if they keep that door open, a lot more problems are gonna happen. So they have to close the door. Mickey shows up as a silhouette of all things.
And he's shirtless.
Yeah.
Which is somehow important. But
That's a plot point.
yes.
It's an actual plot point.
It's an important part that he loses his shirt.
That is the entire point of 0.2.
Anyway, so yes, what was it again? I heard somewhere like they weren't allowed to use Mickey.
Yeah,
So they
the
had to compromise for, like the silhouette at the very end
the
of the
CEO of Disney said he could only be in one cutscene. For
I
some
think it was
reason.
because like he didn't like exactly like wasn't really confident in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, so he's
at
like
least
Mickey
the
Mouse
first
can only be
game.
in one cutscene.
We didn't want to ruin Mickey Mouse's image, yeah. So basically, Mickey Mouse shows up at the very end of the game as like a silhouette. You can't even see him clearly. He's like, haha, Sora, let's seal the door. And then I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I suck at impressions. I am bad.
Let's seal this door for good.
There you go.
Axolotal, we need you as a regular here. But yeah, and then Riku walks through the door like, I must pay for my sins, and you know, they seal the door, but tragedy isn't lost yet. Tragedy isn't over yet because Kairi is on a different piece of land that starts like separating, floating back to about to say Angel Island. Oh my god.
Destiny Island.
Da, 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 da.
But you know, wouldn't it be cool if Kairi got to meet Knuckles, the enchilada? Come on.
Yes.
But you know, Sora promises, hey, I'm gonna see you someday. You know, I was gonna make a joke. I originally planned to make a joke like, yeah, you know, that happens like really later on, but actually no, it really doesn't. It does happen pretty soon. But we'll get into that.
Mhm.
That's gonna be a running phrase with this episode. We'll get into that.
And then Simple and Clean by Utada Hikaru starts playing, and then you cry.
Yes,
Yeah, I definitely
and then
cried.
you get a credit scene where Sora, Dong, Goofy, the epic trio are just wandering through a grassland, and they see Pluto holding a letter from like with Mickey Mouse's signature on it. And you know, he's so egotistical that his signature is just his head. But anyway, he
the emblem.
yeah, Pluto runs away and the three go after him. End of the game, except not really, because if you 100% complete the game, you get this epic final cutscene where this dude in a black hood takes out 2 Keyblades and just slaughters Heartless, and then fights. Does Riku show up in that credits post-credits?
Yeah,
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does.
He's wearing a blindfold, right?
Yep.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
when
okay,
that's when he's in his emo phase.
It's when it's when
Exactly.
he's wearing his 9S cosplay.
Right, and then oh my God, you're right. Oh,
Literally 9S for real.
had to contain the Chad.
He had
But
to make
anyway.
it like pink.
Yes, but anyway, so Rock, this mysterious hooded figure is carrying Oblivion and Oathkeeper.
You almost
which,
said his name.
You were so close.
I know, right?
You were.
But,
I could feel it.
doesn't
I could
matter.
hear
It
the
doesn't
beginning
matter.
of it. I'm like, he's going to say it,
It's
isn't
okay,
he?
guys.
We'll get into him. We'll get into him. We'll get into him.
But anyway, the reason it's suspicious that he's carrying those 2 Keyblades specifically is because they represent Sora's connection to Riku and Kairi. So it's weird that
Yep.
this guy, of all people, has those 2. But
Who is this? He has 2.
who is this? Woo! You won't find out until Kingdom Hearts 2. And people were waiting patiently for Kingdom Hearts 2. And when they did, they saw the intro cutscene. It's like, oh man, this whole thing about this guy with pink hair must happen in the game, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Time to finally talk about one of the games we want to focus on.
Oh no.
Um,
Oh no.
oh, memories. So who wants to start off?
Me. Ooh, me.
Oh,
Bring on guest's honor, Axolotal.
Okay.
I am Chain of Memory's biggest hater.
I'm a close second.
I love its story. First off, I want to say something positive. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is probably is one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts stories. Naminé is one of my favorite characters. Oh my god, the game.
One of those cases where it's like 13 Sentinels is my best example of that, where it's like the gameplay is you know, it's fine, but you're really only there for the story. And I feel like that's even more the case for Chain of Memories.
Yeah. SL, you're in for the long haul because I know you were that game's strongest soldier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm the
He's on
only
the
one.
completely different end of the spectrum.
War.
War. Get ready, guys. For me, it's like I also do not like Chain of Memories. Again, I agree with Axolotal. You know, the story is pretty good. It's not one of my favorites, but it's good. I liked it. It's just that the gameplay, oh god.
Near the end of the game, it just becomes Time Splicer over and over again.
It really does.
Unless you know how to play the
SL,
game.
okay. Alright, SL, you go into it.
Okay.
Go, come on.
Thirdly, I also like the story. It's one of the better ones in the series.
Okay,
It is weird.
before we get into gameplay and start like trying to kill each other, let's actually dissect the story a little bit. I feel like the big theme of memories is actually handled decently well. You know, the whole thing where it's like not only is Sora getting his memories like altered with, but he's also losing them as he goes up and up the castle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is like a really interesting thing to see, like a cool way to see the characters like revert in a way.
Yeah, which leads into Sora losing all of his abilities.
Yeah.
Like, well, of course,
Explains
you
why
need
you're back
some
at
way
level
to be
1 once
like,
again.
Oh yeah, you can't, do like, you can't do strike rate at the start of the game. That would be too.
There is a
busted.
canonical reason as to why
Dang.
Sora is back to level 1 in every game.
And,
This time
and
it's
then,
forgetting.
Black Hood Man, except a different Black Hood Man from the two we've mentioned already. He's just like, hey, what's up? You want this cool card? It's Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's like, hell yeah! And then he phases through him like a ghost, and then he's like, haha, I stole all your abilities and stuff. Sora and crew go up the castle, even though they were already told on floor 1, hey, if you go up the castle, you're gonna lose all your memories and stuff. If I heard that, I'm gonna try and see if I can get out, at least.
The door was already locked once they got in, though, so they couldn't really do much.
Well, I didn't. Well, did they even try to like open the door? I don't think they did. Did they?
Donald did.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, but we're
that's
trusting
Donald.
him with
Yeah,
his
no,
scrawny little
shit.
duck wings. Like, have Sora
It's
or
really-
Goofy try to open it.
Yeah, so, yeah, the Keyblade can literally open any doors. I don't know. Well, I mean,
They forgot the most important part of the key blade.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have a video game otherwise, they decided to go up the castle. And, at first with like Traverse Town, they still like remember it. They remember
Yeah.
meeting people there, but they don't remember him, except for like at the very end with Aerith, which is like really weird. Well, like reference how she's like a Cetra, like an ancient in Final Fantasy VII.
probably.
That was
Oh,
like,
could-
a
it
really
could be.
weird way to be like, oh, they somehow still remember him because friendship. I don't know. But after
okay.
that, okay, yes, Axel.
So I feel like that leads into something with Sora that he always has no matter what, and that is his natural abilities. That I have a theory that his friends literally do make him stronger.
No, yeah.
Some superpower.
Yeah, that is literally his ability. He
It's like
literally
some
has
kind
friendship.
of like Nen ability from Hunter x Hunter. It's like the more friends I make, the stronger I become. That's like
Yes!
a limitation.
And because of that, since he makes these connections with people, they can like do like most things. They can like always remember him and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, it is based on Sora's memories, so maybe like the connections are just that strong. But
Yeah.
The sad thing is, after Traverse Town, like you don't really get that feeling like Sora does remember these worlds. It's just that they don't remember him. Now Sora and crew don't remember these worlds at all. Like second floor on.
Yeah, damn, the effect is already that strong.
Yeah, like damn, like the memories affect. His mind's already been wiped. He is smooth brain now.
He's smooth brain.
But on the second floor, you meet one of the MVPs of the series, Axel.
My man!
My man. You better
My
He
get
is
that
amazing.
My boy. But yes, he's definitely, even in his first game, he's definitely like a very interesting character.
He's Axel, not to be confused with Axel.
Oh.
He's one of my favorite characters ever. I love him.
He is
Oh,
he
no
is pretty
wonder.
great.
But again, as you go up Castle Oblivion, which is another reason it's like when you hear the name Castle Oblivion, do you really want to stay there?
Yeah, it sounds like a nice place.
I mean, it seems it's a cool location. And
It
when
would
we
be cool, but only cool enough to like take a photo of you outside the place. Like, yeah, I've been to Castle Oblivion.
yeah, but
Because you know Instagram exists in Kingdom Hearts, so you know what? People would go
And, like,
to Castle Oblivion, just take a photo outside and just leave.
and also like the area outside of it is like just a void.
Yeah, it is actually.
right.
Shenanigans
You go
ensue.
to Castle, you play with cards and stuff. You play Yu-Gi-Oh games. Pay $9.99 to Moogles for a pack. Then Sora, while still losing his memories, is also starting to remember this blonde-haired girl named Naminé, who he was apparently friends with before she moved away. All right.
That is it.
But it turns out that this girl, Namine, is actually working for Axel's group, the Black Hoods, or the organization as they're called. Not Organization 13 yet, just the organization.
No, Nomaru was still trying to choose a symbolic number.
Nomura was just like, I don't want to settle on a number just yet, so let's just call him Organization. There you go, that's it.
There we go.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I understand, Nomura. It's kind of hard to come up with villain team names.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
Especially since a lot of them are, all the cool ones are kind of taken at this point.
Dude, thank you. They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Nominate has this strange power to alter memories, and I think it's like, it was mentioned in the game, like Sora and crew losing their memories is like a Castle Oblivion thing. The whole Nominate memories is just a Nominate thing. It's separate, right?
I think Nominate can. I think it might just actually all be Nominate.
I think it's just
And
all
that
Nominate.
Marluxia, and that the first Black Hood was just fucking with Sora, basically.
Okay.
I almost said his name. I almost said his name
All
too.
Nominate with all memory thing.
Yeah. I think it might just all be her.
I think it's all
that
Nominate as
makes
well.
things a lot more simple to understand. But also, as Sora is going up the floors, he also sees Riku in his dark attire, and he just immediately starts attacking. And he also claims like he made a promise to nominate and everything. Oh boy. Also,
All this time you're like, who's Nominate?
yeah, what the fuck? Well, you do know who Nominate is, but you know, you're just waiting. Like, when's the truth coming out? When are we gonna break Sora's fragile little soul? But
Who's he gonna base his trauma?
Yeah.
And they're gonna learn the true meaning of hurt.
That's what I was afraid of, because you know, when I was like rewatching cutscenes of Rechain of Memories, I had recently finished like reading Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re, and like Kaneki's trauma is like a pretty big part of that series. So I was just like, oh no, is it like Sora's gonna forget stuff and then just remember, oh yeah, I got abused by my mom or something.
Oh no.
No.
I wonder when we
Like,
see her.
I was worried, like, dang, the story could have gone in that direction. Wow. It didn't, thankfully, and Sora's mom is still waiting for dinner. But
We still don't know what she looks like. I need to see her. I need to see her.
bro, I think Nomura is like intentionally holding off on introducing Sora's mom because he knows the internet's gonna fucking explode when that happens. It's like new MILF.
It will break Twitter again.
Oh god.
Twitter will lag.
Oh hell yeah.
It'll be when Steve was
deserved.
announced for
But,
Smash all over again.
The fact of the matter is, you're also introduced to members of the organization. Just on Sora's side of the story, we get Axel, we get pretty boy Marluxia, we get his bad bitch sidekick Larxene, and we get Vexen. That's right, Vexen's the last one.
You actually, you do also meet two on Riku's side. You meet Zexion
Right.
and Lexaeus.
Lexaeus. Yeah, he's a character.
He sure is a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sora
Yeah.
eventually figures everything out about the whole Namine Riku replica thing, because the Riku he's been fighting this whole time wasn't actually Riku. It was just a replica made by
He
Vexen.
says.
Oh boy. You know, Kingdom Hearts, we should acknowledge that in the non-spoiler section, but Kingdom Hearts is just like the meme king. Like, half the lines are comedy gold.
Yeah.
But also, like, in context, they destroy you.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm meek, he says. And it's like, you're so stupid!
Those who know versus those who don't know.
Kyrie's inside me? I'm like, oh no.
Kyrie's
no.
inside me?
Oh.
Shion, who will I have ice cream with?
Bruh. It's like, imagine, I want to do this. I want to have someone, a friend of mine who hasn't played Kingdom Hearts, just put on a blindfold. I play like clips from the games, so that way they don't see the visuals, they just hear the like voice lines.
Just look up the
Like, what
the
fuck?
Kingdom Hearts out of context videos.
What the hell is this series?
It's just like, dude, I can like they guess like it's someone dying because of the sad music, and it's just like, who else do I have ice cream? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But so we're jumping the gun here. But actually, speaking of Roxas, you actually do go to Twilight Town.
You said his name.
Who cares?
Oh no, it's too late now. That happens soon anyways.
Yeah, you know what? We figured out like soon enough, and based on like the 1.5 collection, they recommend that you do 35842. So whatever, man. This is the spoiler section. I would really hope that these people like know their names at least.
Yeah, I'd hope.
The most popular characters.
Oh, okay, so yeah, the whole thing was like Vexen is there, and he's just like, oh, I made this card from like memories on the other side of your heart, and you know, obviously, to blind players, she's like, what the fuck does that mean?
And the people who know.
Then Axel just goes up, and he's just like, goodbye, and then burns Zexen alive. Which, thank you, King.
Best.
Thank you,
That's
Goat.
like the best part of like Chain of Memories. Just the goodbye and then the snap.
Yes.
Watching Vexen die in agony.
For 10 hours on a loop.
I would honestly do that.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So you know, you go up Castle Oblivion to like the final floor. You fight the other organization members. You kill them, except for Axel. He's the special boy. He gets privileges. And then
We'll get into that.
you know, you confront Naminé. Sora forgives her because you know she was lonely and everything, which you know.
And she was
can't
effectively
blame
groomed
You just
into
wanted
doing
a
that shit.
friend.
Like
but
she was
then,
effectively abused into like doing
Right.
that shit.
Yep.
You fight Marluxia, who becomes a giant flower demon god, and then
Then we murdered the
after
giant
that,
flower demon god.
yeah, and then
Its
after
final
that,
form has some heavy symbolism that we'll go into
oh yeah,
a lot later.
Yep.
But at the end of the game, because this was a spin-off game on the GBA, Naminé was just like, okay, I'm gonna put you into these cocoons, and you're gonna forget everything that happened in Castle Oblivion, so I can fix up your memories. So yeah,
in
they
your
go in
journal
there and they,
is thank Naminé.
Hey, guess what, guys? You finished the game, except not really, because now you get to play as Riku. Woo!
Reverse Rebirth, the only somewhat fun part of the game.
Okay, I'll agree with Axel there. But yeah, Riku just goes through, you know, he meets Mickey, who actually has a character this time. And
Finally.
you fight Lexaeus and you fight Zexion. I can smell the darkness on you. You meet this dude named Diz, who's just wrapped up in bandages like a damn mummy, and he's just like, oh, you see, I want to kill you, but you know, I'll hold off on it right now. But you know, then Riku fights Ansem in his brain hole, and then you know, he accepts the darkness within him, kinda. But then he's like, I'll walk the road to dawn, and then cut to black.
That's
Skyrim. Oh, I see you're finally awake. But then him and Mickey and Organization Hoods walk off. And I'm sorry, but Riku, I understand why he's wearing the hoodie. Mickey, why are you wearing the hoodie? The ears give it away.
Looks dope.
The hoodie has magical powers that like keep the organization off its trail, I think.
Right, but I don't think that's explained until like Remind on Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
No, it's been
I'm
way
pretty
before
sure-
that.
Oh, it was? I must have misremembered, but alright, okay,
That
so yeah.
happens.
Now, let's get into the actual fun part.
Oh,
the
no.
Gameplay.
All right, Axel, you can go
You
first.
dodged the bullet long enough.
Axel,
Okay.
Alright.
Yes?
you can go first.
Oh, I'd love to. So, Kingdom Hearts
like a whole
RE
essay
Chain
ready?
of Memories. Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories gameplay is very, very, very.
Kingdom Hearts had a rough transition onto the GBA.
So, as Shiro said, cards. You fight with cards. There's like spell cards and attack
it really
cards.
is a Yu-Gi-Oh game.
But the thing about it is that it's a deck builder. It's not fun.
Do you think like they actually made like real life Kingdom Hearts cards?
They did.
Cool, actually. Oh, they did.
Oh, okay.
They did. It got discontinued because they entered like right when the market crashed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yep.
Damn. If somehow someone watching this owns like Kingdom Hearts cards, let us know. We'd love to have you on as like an extra episode.
God, please. So-
we could call the episode where we feature someone with those cards episode 3.3 to follow Kingdom Hearts norms.
So, like,
Okay, as you were saying, Axel.
yeah, so basically, you know, you attack with cards, like, you select a card, and then, like, if it's an attack card, you just bonk them with the Keyblade, spell card, cast a spell, and early game is very rough, because you can't really
Mhm.
do much, and then you just,
In
and then
late
you
game,
unlock
can just
slights.
break it in half.
Yeah, and then you can just break it in half, like once you unlock Time Spice. And there's like other kinds of cool, some kind of neat cards, like the enemy cards you can get. Those are kind of cool.
Right.
That grant like certain abilities.
You know,
But, like-
the whole Riku thing.
Yeah.
Which is it
um,
definitely is an improvement
like-
because of like the instant recharge of cards. But
Yeah.
what killed Riku's mode for me was the fact that you're just stuck with a certain deck for a certain world.
Yeah.
Mm.
I do think the card duel mechanic was cool though.
Oh, it definitely was.
That was an actual cool part of the game. But
Yeah.
like Sora's gameplay just felt too shallow for me, and I just didn't really
I like the
it too much.
customization for the most part, though. I like the card customization for the most part, but still.
I do think there was a lot of options.
Oh my god. I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to use a card, but then it's like, a CP reached max. Like, damn it!
Yeah, I almost always pick CP up when leveling up, but like at that point, my HP would always be so low. It's like,
You're just a glass cannon.
yeah, exactly.
Right. So, any counter argument?
Okay, so I think the game is actually fun.
Oh,
The card building is
The reaction, like Axel is like offended.
shocked.
I feel like the deck building, you're meant to use strategy to conserve your CP to get the most useful cards in, and then actually fight the, use them to fight the boss that you're currently about to go
I
out against.
understand why the CP limit is there. You know, they don't want you using the most busted cards as soon as possible. But
Exactly.
like still,
What most people don't do is they don't look at the other person's card and think, do I have something that can break it? Because that's what you're able to do once you play a higher number.
0.
Yeah.
Or 0.
Or Zero. The dog from Halloween Town.
Well, I will say this. I feel like they could have gone over the CP limit by just having it not be a part of the level up thing, like a choice. Maybe they could have done something like, oh, after every world you get like a boost of a CP.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like walking it behind a level up is like really limiting how much you can really get.
Another thing
Yeah.
I like about the gameplay is that they included elements into it, like fire, ice, thunder, and I think that's actually it.
There's
Don't
also
stop.
arrow, I think.
Stop and gravity.
Oh yeah.
Arrow,
Well, I mean, yeah, but they didn't
right?
have like they didn't.
And
They weren't the
arrow.
weakness to another one, is what I mean by that. Like if you use
Oh, yeah.
fire on an ice enemy, it hurts it more than it would. If you use ice on a
I
fire
remember
enemy, it hurts
playing
it more.
Recon for the first time, looking at my skill list, I'm like, wait, I can use Blizzago already? I'm in Traverse Town. And then I realized, oh, I
Yeah.
have Factory Blizzards. Okay.
Yeah. That do be kind of how it works.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. And but I feel like what makes it so frustrating is like the boss fights, especially like really, like near the end of the game. Jesus.
I will concede that Vexen is really annoying.
Yeah, I hated that Vexen fight, but Time Splicer carried me once I unlocked it. for that fight.
Okay, I will admit the first
But
time I
I will
bought
also
Vexen,
say
I had to
another
rely on
thing I
Time
did not
Splicer, but
like-
I haven't had
Something
to
I did not
since.
like- oh, sorry, so you go.
I was just saying, I haven't had to use Time Splicer since that first ever attempt. I can just fight him normally now. It will take a few attempts, but I can kill him without Time Splicer.
Something I want to say is like I also do not like how doors are locked behind cards that you get after battles.
Yeah, and then sometimes you have to grind a lot to get the cards.
like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you have to grind in all the games, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like,
like, to
I feel
that
like I had to
extent.
grind. I feel like I had to grind the most in Recomp though, and that I don't like that.
And everyone's on me
Like,
about you have to use math for Recom. It's simple addition.
You think I can do simple addition, SL?
I
I
would
mean, I
hope.
can. I'm still having problems with it. So don't
calculated
so
everything.
Alright, don't worry, man. Alright, you're not to blame. Like I said, I can do simple addition, and even I can't do math half the time.
I'm American. I can't do simple addition.
You think I'm any better?
I'm American too.
You think I'm any better?
Oh, yeah, fair enough. You know what?
I'm essentially half American.
Oh, you know what? That's true, I guess.
I'm not,
Here's a
but like I may as well be.
American, I can't.
And that's why I like Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories.
Offended.
It's that Irish side of him that's being like, I like this. Okay, alright, let's stop. Alright, before we make this any more of a bloodbath, let's just move on to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Let's go to something we can agree on.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2, good. That
Amazing.
True.
yes. But
I'm clapping.
I will say the intro with Roxas got a lot of flack for how long it is, but I don't know. I liked it when I got around to it.
Oh, I loved it from the beginning.
Like Roxas is my favorite character now because of that intro. Really.
He was always my favorite.
Yeah. And that's why you should not play Days first, because it ruins that intro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, chronologically, yes, 358 does happen before Kingdom Hearts 2.
But we told you to play in the order of release.
Was released after 2 and was written for players to have the prior knowledge of all the games before. So you're supposed to go into 358 with like what happens in 2 in your mind.
Yeah, Roxas is supposed to be a mystery sort of character in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right, especially at the beginning. But it's the whole
Yeah,
thing
you only
like
find out
the
who he is at the
nobodies.
end.
The whole thing. I still find it funny how they're just like they censored the word photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Art.
raise a hand.
took art.
Who thought they were cursing?
Me too. Yeah, I did.
Me.
All right, great.
Our
We're all
dicks. They
fucking
stole our
children here.
dicks.
That's why Kingdom Hearts is half Disney because it brings out the children in us in the best and worst ways.
Yeah.
We're all still children on the inside.
Yes.
We were all stupid.
The whole thing was like, Roxas is just having a whole identity crisis, which you usually do when you're 18. Or how old is Roxas? Well, chronologically, he's like 1 to 2 years old, but it's like.
I think he's supposed to be around the same age as Sora.
Yeah, so that would make
Can't
him like
believe
15,
that-
I'm pretty sure.
No, but chronologically, I can't believe that Roxas is baby.
Oh yeah, he is like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, he has a whole identity crisis. So typical for someone his age. And Axel is back trying to get his buddy. Trying to pick him up from the daycare, but this is like no.
Yeah, and then you learn the entire world that Roxas has been living in is literally
a
just
lie.
a digital
Just a
lie.
simulation.
It's actually a simulation, like no meme.
Actually a simulation. He's literally in the
Roxas
Matrix.
snaps, just destroys a computer. As SL does when a video fails to upload.
You have no idea. Okay.
How many
quick,
computers have you had to buy, SL? How many have you had to buy?
okay, quick sidetrack. Back when I did my
I
Detroit Become
lost
Human
track.
Let's Play like a while back, it took 5 days to process one of the episodes. I'm not kidding.
Good
Oh
God.
my god.
Yeah, I was
break
like,
my computer too.
that was the only ever video that took that long to process, and I'm just like, why? Why are you taking this long? Like,
Yeah, you find Sora in his cocoon, which I guess they moved from Castle Oblivion. But Diz is just like, oh yeah, you gotta wake up Sora now, you useless tool, and
Useless
and then
nobody.
yeah,
Haha.
and then Diz is racist, but we don't need to get into that.
I
but-
hate this.
The cocoon opens. You see Sora in clothes that barely fit him anymore, and Roxas looks like my summer vacation's over, and we all cry, as you should.
We all cry.
And then Kingdom Hearts 2 appears.
Congratulations, you just finished the prologue.
Yeah, congratulations, you beat the intro. Now you get to play the actual game.
Congratulations, the tutorial is over. Okay, now you're crying.
Yeah, haha, loser. Look at those tears. You're playing Kingdom Hearts 2. So Sora
Yeah,
wakes up
Kingdom
with
Hearts.
Dawn and Goofy. They don't remember Chain of Memories except for like Jiminy Cricket, who we haven't mentioned up to this point. His journal just says nominate, and that's it.
I
forgot.
called this,
Everyone
like,
forgets
right.
that Jiminy Cricket is a crucial character in the series.
Yeah, no, not Jiminy Cricket himself. His journal is crucial.
Here's the thing. Right when Chain of Memories ended, and he said, I'll just write thank nominate, I called it. I'm just like, write more. Like, you're going to forget everything.
Just write everything. Or it's not like
Nominee is willing to wait. Nominee is willing to wait.
Like,
It's
you're
not
not
like-
pressed for time at all. Write more.
If it was like we need to get your memories back in order as soon as possible, the rest of the organization is out there and ready to attack. If they mention that in Chain of Memories, okay, sure,
But they don't.
No, it's just like there's no sense of like pressure or tension at the end. So it's just like, oh, just thank nominate. Like, no.
No, like write more. Okay, we're just gonna say the same thing over and
Anyway.
over again if we don't move on from this.
All right. All right, but yeah, Axel is still alive and kicking. Everyone else from Castle Oblivion is dead
What?
though.
I'm not. I didn't die.
What?
I didn't die.
Oh. Sorry. Are you
No,
sure?
that was
about
a joke.
But yeah, Organization 13 comprised of like 7, 8
Technically
members.
14. Oh yeah, most of them are dead now.
Yeah, like half.
Yeah,
of them
I don't know
died
why
in
they're still
Castle
calling
Oblivion.
themselves Organization 13. Like it should be Organization like 8.
7, somewhere
8,
around there.
yeah.
Imagine they have to change the name whenever they lose or gain members. Oh, we
Well,
gotta
like,
go. We gotta fight.
Then
We
in
gotta
days it
go.
should have been
We gotta
Organization
go.
14.
Organization
Eon
1.
joined. Vexen
Tell
fucking
me that
died. We
Zen is
gotta
formulated
file
as Organization 1.
Organization 1.
But anyway, so you know, the whole thing was like they tease Sora about Roxas and everything. Sora has no clue what they're talking about for most of the game. And then you know, you go through Disney Worlds. Beast Castle is the only one I want to mention because it has Zoldan appear for both parts, I think.
Yeah, it's Alden.
Yeah, I like how in 358 they actually like kind of set up like his obsession with Beast and his rose.
Yeah, that is cool.
But outside of that, you know, there's also Demix in
Demix time.
Olympus Coliseum.
Otherwise known as the Master of Masters.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Beating the Master of Masters allegations.
There's also, in terms of like, so at some point, you have to visit all the worlds again.
Because
So
That's funny.
that's when you really start to encounter the organization members. So Zigbar and Land of Dragons, right? It was Zigbar there.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Ajax was in Twilight Town.
yeah.
Yeah, Syx.
Oh, Luxord was in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, which still does not look all that great, but
Why didn't
whatever.
They
They made it work in Kingdom Hearts 3, so who cares?
Weird
I
question,
love
though.
that world
What-
in 2.
why didn't they put Zigbar in the Pirates of the Caribbean world? He already has an eye patch.
All right. Come on, it was right there.
No.
We already mentioned Zoldan in Beast's Castle.
Mhm.
Is there anyone else?
There's Demix in Hollow Bastion.
Oh, right, the boss fight. And then
And also
Zemnis.
Yeah, one of my favorite villains ever in the series.
Oh yeah,
So cool.
definitely, bro. That smooth ass voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's so deep and gravelly.
Exactly.
Right, it definitely sounds like a guy who just is empty inside.
Okay, for anyone that's gonna be watching this, please look up like Zemnis' voice lines. You will not be disappointed.
Bro, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
We shall go together.
We shall go together.
We shall go together.
Yeah, so, you know, Mansex's whole plan is to basically construct an artificial Kingdom Hearts to give each of the nobodies hearts. Because that's the thing with nobodies. They're just the shell of a body left behind when a Heartless is formed. So, you know, they don't really have
glance
a heart.
over mansex.
What?
You just said mansex.
Yeah, it's Demix
Yeah,
backwards.
That's his canonical
Oh, sure.
name. Did you not know that?
Canonical name, man.
Yeah, Mansex and Big Racks. Come on, man.
God.
You can't forget Yum.
Was that Demix?
Yes.
Yeah, wait, what? Hey?
Oh my god.
Anyway, so yeah, Hollow Bastion happens the second time. You're fighting 1,000 Heartless with the Final Fantasy crew. Goofy dies, except not really.
Rip. And
Yeah,
then he
you know,
comes
I was
back
about to
like
say
Jesus.
again, but yeah.
Goofy is an allegory for Jesus in the Bible. He dies
Oh my
and comes
God,
back to life.
It really is. And I love how Mickey, the parallel to Judas, doesn't betray Jesus, but instead he's just like, don't make them pay for this. Takes off his hood and then just runs off with his kingdom key. And you know, Donald also runs off, and so it's like, I'm sorry, Goofy. And then
Full fan fiction, Judas doesn't betray Jesus.
yeah, and then I like to imagine Sora as he's running off, like, fuck, I can't use follower form anymore. Damn it.
No!
I'm
But,
stuck
yeah,
with.
Use
okay,
Valor.
we're all
I'm
good.
can't
You
use
survived the easy god, but
I'm stuck with.
I'm
stuck.
Wisdom.
Oh,
yeah, you
wisdom.
fight. And, we also go to Tron's world, and we figure out that it was a copy of the original Tron world that was made by Ansem the Wise. And we find out through Mickey being like, "You want to know the door to darkness?" But,
Yeah, that's
but then he just like tells them about how there are two people named Ansem. There's Ansem the Wise, and then there's the imposter.
Among
name-
Us?
God damn it, Axel. I was like, one of you two was gonna reference it. I swear to God, that's why I took that pause.
You
But,
knew.
And then there's Xehanort, who basically, when he became a Heartless, he took on Ansem's name to basically just sabotage his reputation. And
I'm gonna
then
end this man's whole career.
Then this was also born at the same time, and so decided to make his name anagram of Ansem with an X in it. And after all of that, Sora finds out that the hearts hearts that come out of Heartless that he destroys are going into like their artificial Kingdom Hearts. So he's unintentionally helping out the bad guys here.
He literally has no choice but to continue helping them.
Right. And so after everything, Maleficent just teleports them because enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh yeah,
And,
remember the
Void.
fact that Maleficent comes back to life after Sora fucking kills her in Kingdom Hearts 1?
Right. Oh, no. Sora doesn't kill her. Riku does. Possessed Riku. With,
Oh,
like, that
yeah, you're
weird
right.
Thing. But funny thing is, it's like what was it? In that dark void that Maleficent teleports them to, they find Riku, or just with the black hood up and everything, and he just hands them a box, and in the box is a picture of Roxas in the digital Twilight Town, and then a sea salt ice cream.
Ice cream.
And just like, my guy, could you not just write a note saying, "Hey, go to a mansion in Twilight Town and type in sea salt ice cream into
It has to stay cryptic.
I can't reveal it until the last 5
handwriting?
minutes of the game.
But
Sometimes things happen in the plot
Town
that
and
make
meets,
plot.
Hainer, Pence, and Olette. They
love
explain
them.
how it's like, oh, it totally makes sense that there's a digital Twilight Town. And Sora looks at Donald, looks at Goofy, and he's like, it does? While looking straight at the camera, I'm like, thank you, Sora. But, very epic. But they go into the computer room, and they find out the password was sea salt ice cream, because of course it was. What was the story behind that? I remember hearing, like, wasn't it like Nomura went to Disneyland and
Yeah,
there
they
was,
were
like, sea salt
selling
ice cream
sea
being
salt ice
sold?
cream, and Nomura loved it so much he put it in the game.
He put it in the game.
You think they still serve it there?
No, they don't anymore.
I don't. Damn. If they did, we totally would have planned a trip to Disneyland together, 3 of us.
I'm already planning a trip. It's like, oh, maybe when I go.
Who knows? Maybe they'll be serving it, but I highly doubt they still sell
Anyway,
it.
so yes, you go to what's called the world that never was, the land of nobodies, where you have, in the final remix version, you have a fight against Roxas.
One of the
Inside Sora's heart, which is like so fucking cool.
I love
if
it
you
so
did
much.
not level up your drive forms enough, that fight is tough.
Oh no!
Like if you don't have quick run or dodge roll, you're screwed.
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
dead, dude. I'm sure, like, it might be possible. Like, it's hard, but it might be possible.
You need to have a shit ton of health, probably.
Right. Just know, like, the timing of Roxas moves to, like, block, if you can. But,
Yeah.
the whole thing is, like, Sora defeats Roxas, Roxas takes off, so it's like, you make a good other, then disappears. And Sora still doesn't understand who the hell Roxas is, and I'm like, come on, man.
The thing that makes that fight so hard is the fact that it's hard to see the screen through all the tears.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get like this final goodbye between Roxas and Axel, which I guess is happening in like limbo. But it's
alright.
honestly really sad.
Oh yeah, yeah. Before that, Axel dies.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we
he
forgot
just
to mention that.
kamikazed himself.
Local gay man dies.
God damn it, Axel.
Right.
We invited
Okay,
Axel
anyway.
on. You should have expected this.
So you go to the castle that's floating in the sky, and you fight the remaining organization members. There's Zigbar. I think Zigbar is the first one you face, and he's just like, man, you're not anything compared to the past Keyblade wielders, which somehow gains more relevance the further we go into the series.
That line like becomes so much different.
Wine.
Yeah, that line became so much different. Like, oh my god.
Sorry, I didn't hear what line.
The whole thing where Zigbar's like, you're nothing compared to the past Keyblade wielders.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, you fight Zigbar, as if, man, and then, you reunite with Riku and Kairi. Sora and Riku have a gay moment, but, that's to be expected. You fight Cardan and Mad Max, and then after that, you go fight Man 6 four times, and
you fight
everyone gets to return home.
You fight him with your boyfriend.
Exactly.
Yes, as all couples should. Defeat a giant dragon and stuff in the
fight Man-Sex.
You have to fight fire with fire, so we're fighting Man-Sex with gay.
Yeah, there you go. But the power of gay.
I'm still sad you couldn't use final form in that fight, even though you do need 2 people to use it. I think it would have been cool if they just let you use it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But using limit form still is great too.
Mm-hmm.
The final fight happens. You and Riku end up in the Dark World. Do you find a letter in a bottle that Kairi put into the ocean like at the very beginning of the game?
Literally during the Roxas section.
Right. Yeah. And so, and when Sora reads it, a doorway opens up to the world of light, and I'm so pissed that Waka wasn't there. I was like, wait!
No, wait! I need to get back!
What? I had a conversation with another online friend, and he said, like, no, Aqua was there, it's just that she was too far away. I'm like, no!
For a minute, I thought you said Waka.
Me too.
I did you assume that Waka and Titus are still stuck in the realm of darkness while, like, Selby got to get out?
That would be funny as hell. I won't lie.
Wait up, man!
No, but imagine if that was the case, like Aqua got out, and meanwhile Titus and Waka's like, what about us?
We're still stuck!
And then they go around searching a bit more, it's like, Orin, there you are!
Just all the Final Fantasy characters, when they're not on screen, are just in the dark
Titus
realm.
and Waka are still like kids, and Orin is just fully grown.
This is really fucking up the continuity of Final Fantasy X.
Okay, anyway, so, everything's happy. Kingdom Hearts 2 has a happy ending, but it does, the post-credits scene does tease these 3 characters in Keyblade armor fighting this old wrinkly dude and Darth Vader. And at one point, one of the Keyblade wielders, the heroes, gets his helmet smashed, and he looks exactly like Roxas.
Mm-hmm.
And also another one is very handsome looking and very, very muscular looking.
Very.
And I like him a lot.
His eyes turn gold, which is, the symbol for darkness, so
spooky.
But yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts 2 in a nutshell.
Should we talk about his gameplay too, or no?
I feel like we can do it quickly.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah, it was really fun, the gameplay. I feel like for Kingdom Hearts 3, it's definitely one of the peaks of gameplay in the series.
Yeah, especially because you got Reflect, and Reflect is very funny.
It is.
Definitely. The secret bosses were also really cool. You got Sephiroth again, and the whole thing was like, Cloud is still searching for him. There's also Tifa, another love of my life, just being like, oh, I gotta find my blonde-haired boy. And she lifts up a painting the same way I want her to lift me up. All right, I'm done.
Shiro did what he came here to do. He wins.
I'm getting my paycheck. Anyway. Cloud and Sephiroth have another fight, but then he just teleport away again. Hey, you want to find out what happens? Play Final Fantasy VII Remake. No.
Oh my. Well, I mean, you never know.
Well, it was like kind of like in that phase for Final Fantasy VII Remake where it was like on and off again in development.
Actually, I think it might also lead in. Actually, I think it might lead into Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the movie.
Oh, that's because everyone is.
They are all in their Advent Children outfits.
Yeah.
This was that cool moment between Cloud and Squall and Owl Bastion during the 1000 Heartless event.
I love
I'm
it.
sorry,
that is one of my favorite fights.
Yeah, it's like
Also, just
might be trouble if one more shows up. Then that'll have to be the one I take care of.
Oh my god, so cool. Outside of that, there are definitely a lot of like cool events in Kingdom Hearts 2 gameplay wise.
yeah, they really
Like the
upped
boss
cool
fight
factor.
organization, those were so cool. Okay, outside of one, but
Especially going to like Cavern of Remembrance and then getting to fight all the data versions.
Mhm.
oh yeah, that was really cool.
And then also the Lingering Will boss fight, which if you got the secret ending, whoa.
Oh man.
I've only beaten that once
again,
in
they
my
did
life.
that thing where it's like you don't hear what Lingering Will sounds like, and in fact, I don't even know how he has dialogue when he's
Wait,
a soup.
Oh yeah, he does have dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm guessing the justification was that was Terra's thoughts that we were reading.
I mean, considering all that Terra can do, I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to will himself to talk as Lingering Will.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the Lingering Will, so...
Yeah.
Okay. How many times have you guys beaten Lingering Will? I've only beaten him once in my
Zero.
life.
Him once.
0.
0? Okay. I've got something
I
over
actually
at
never
least.
fought him. I never fought him, but I did watch the fight.
Yeah, I've watched the fight a ton of
There's
times,
also-
but I've only beaten it once.
Those are the Mushroom 13, which are like they have really cute designs, but some of their objectives are just really out there and just really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you do get a semi-cool Keyblade when you actually do it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
And after that,
Literally just a bunch of mushrooms forming together to make a Keyblade.
right. And then let's see what else. The costumes for Sora and crew in this game, where they visit certain Disney worlds, are actually kind of cool. The whole thing where it's like
Yeah.
Halloween Town and Christmas Town.
Yeah, and it actually
Just cool
changes.
there, that's really cool.
Also, Merman
Sora
Sora.
becomes a furry in Lion King, which you know. Let's not get
Call
into
back to his
that.
beta design. Call back to his beta design, kind of.
Kind of.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
There's also Merman Sora.
Oh yeah. Well, that was in
We
Kingdom
don't
Hearts
talk.
1.
We don't talk about that. Well, also Atlantic Kingdom Hearts 2, but we don't talk about that.
We don't need to talk about Atlantica. Timeless River Instinct.
Oh, that was so
classic.
adorable.
I know, pun
I loved
intended,
it.
but
I love the sound effects for it too. It was so
Yeah,
good.
it
Oh,
literally
yeah,
looks like
it
you're
has
watching
that
like
great
a
extra
90s
vibe.
movie.
It's like all muffled and like it has like.
I like how
CRT
Kingdom
effect.
Hearts 3 had to like explain like, oh yeah, Merlin just works by different rules of time travel. And it's just like, I'm sorry, wait.
Yeah, Merlin.
Yeah, there's
It's
two-
like a god above the laws of physics. Are you kidding me?
There's literally two
Merlin can
versions of
do
time
what
travel
even
in
the
Kingdom
organization
Hearts.
can't.
Why didn't they try to possess? I mean, could they even try to possess Merlin? I know he's a Disney character, but I mean, come on, guys. Riku's character arc in Kingdom Hearts 2 was really cool. I did
Loved
like it. Roxas, Axel, just amazing, and it get even better when you play later games.
Yeah.
Kairi, unfortunately, even though she wasn't asleep the whole time, she still didn't do much. All that really happened with her is like she got kidnapped.
She got a
kidnapped
Keyblade.
again. She got kidnapped a third time, and then she got a Keyblade, and then just smacked two Heartless.
Hey, the fact that she can use the Keyblade without even ever having any prior training is impressive.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Okay, that's well. I mean, Sora and Riku also did the same.
Okay, fair.
That's okay, no, but they did like sword fighting stuff on the island.
Okay,
So
okay,
they had
yeah,
to fight
that's fair.
prior.
That's fair.
Yeah, at least a little bit of practice with swinging stuff, but yeah, however you will. Then the extra cutscenes they added in Final Remix, referencing I think Birth by Sleep. Cool.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
But it really was like, if you don't play haven't played Birth by Sleep, it definitely is confusing, which you shouldn't. I mean, that's kind of the point, I think. Just to like, you know, head towards future games.
Yeah,
Kinda
it's supposed to make you confused to want to get more.
right. But yeah, I mean, the whole. I'm kind of surprised that boss fight with Roxas wasn't in the original Kingdom Hearts 2. I won't lie.
Yeah, 'cause,
because
like, I wouldn't-
that fight felt so natural too.
Yeah, like it feels like
Right.
such a
Like,
climactic
it flowed
like
in
end
so
to his
seamlessly.
character.
Into the story.
Yeah. I also like how it took place on like Sora's Station of Awakening. That was
like,
cool.
little like heart mural thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Station of Awakening.
That's it. That was it. I also thought like this was like the start of like the reaction commands in the series, which I mean,
Yes.
they are definitely cool. They are cool. Yes.
It also did a great job of making every boss feel unique because every boss had their own reaction commands.
Yes.
Mhm.
They also did a good job making them unique because Organization 13, as a whole, was based on RPG classes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Zeldin's like Dragoon.
Right, and
Demix is the Bard.
right. Sniper, Zigbar, Berserker, Sayax. Yeah, I like to imagine that was like the first hand Nomura gave to like nobody can actually have emotions because if they can, how does Sayax get so mad that he just runs around like a berserker?
Gay panic.
I think
You
it's
can really replicate that through just memory.
yeah. There's only so much you can replicate with memory. Yeah.
Right, but speaking of which, speaking with the organization, should we like Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely like the best gameplay wise. But I think it's about time we move on to 358. Should
Yeah,
we?
358.
One of the best stories. Yes.
Oh yes, definitely.
100% agree.
And the movie does a decent job covering everything, but it definitely doesn't feel as impactful. I would
Yeah, I
say.
feel like because I never played the actual game yet, but I watched this one video by this dude called King K. I don't know if you guys heard of him,
Oh,
but he
yes,
does
yes.
like
Yeah.
he did these retrospective videos, and like he said that like for 358 over 2 days, its gameplay is boring and mundane, but it adds
That's
to the
kind of the
impact.
point.
Yeah, like it's like you're living you're living a job.
Living a 9-to-5 job in the game.
Yeah, and but then you so desperately want those like mundane moments to keep happening because like everything is fucking falling apart.
It's the same thing like when I was like watching Gintama for the first time. It started off as a comedy, like God, get to the action bits already. Then the action bits started happening again. I'm like, I just want to go back to the comedy, man.
Just want everyone to be happy, please.
But,
Ice cream!
So, this is the game where you follow Roxas during his days in the organization, like a full year before like Kingdom Hearts 2
I think.
happened.
Yeah.
Right. Because you have like the 358 days of him being in the organization. Then you have the extra week, 7 days of Kingdom Hearts 2 prologue.
And that adds up to
Yeah, full year.
365.
I feel like this was like Nomura's way of like, oh, let's give the organization more character. By that he meant like the organization members in Kingdom Hearts 2. Because
Yeah.
as
didn't
the
really-
prologue of 358, half the team goes to Castle Oblivion, and then everyone but Axel dies, as you know. So,
Yeah.
there's also this secret fourth team member, which at first definitely sounds like fan fiction, doesn't it?
It does. Well,
The
Kingdom
self-insert
Hearts-
genre.
Kingdom Hearts itself is already fan fiction, but in the best
Fair
way
enough.
possible.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But
As we all know, it's fan
Uh,
fiction written by a
Shion-
monkey.
hey, can we all agree that Shion is the best version of Kairi?
Sure.
Yes.
Well, I
Great.
think of nominate Shion and Kairi. I prefer to think of them as their own three separate characters because I feel like that does their characters a disservice.
Oh, so do I.
Saying they're like the same.
Right. But actually, speaking of which, it's actually a plot point that Shion only looks kind of like Kairi to Roxas. Everyone else
Yeah,
takes
everyone
on a
else
different
is-
form because she's not a real nobody. She's like another replica thing. Like
She's not even technically a nobody.
right.
Yeah.
Funny thing, there was like this thing in I think it was referenced in the games like the secret reports you get post game. But in the manga they outright say like her code name during Vexen's development of her was like number I. So if you had an X there, you can like make the anagram Shion.
Yeah. Also, I want to add that because Shion was effectively made from Sora, she could be perceived as an allegory for Sora potentially being transgender, which I think is cool.
That would be cool.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That would be neat. I don't know if like Square Enix would let Nomura do that, but
I
he
mean,
can hint at it.
Strelitzia is canonically bi, so I mean, it's not their first
Wait,
time.
what? Oh, right, because of the whole Avatar. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Alright, we'll get into that when we get into that. So yeah.
We'll get into that.
358.
We'll get into that.
But yeah, so the whole thing was like 358. Because it was a DS game, they kind of took like a mission by mission basis, so you can pick it up and put it down.
Yeah.
In sittings.
Yeah, because that was the whole
And it had
tagline of the
co-op.
DS.
Right.
Yeah, and it had co-op, which was cool. Because
Right.
you could also play as the other.
organization member you want, and after you
And
beat the
Donald
game,
and Goofy for some reason.
Right. She could play Donald, Goofy, Mickey, Riku, and Sora.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, I should add.
Yeah, because 2 hasn't happened yet.
Like timeline-wise, it makes sense. Yeah, but one thing that the DS version has over like the movies that are in the collection is Sora's memories that show up on the bottom screen as like kind of static images, which is really cool. And then the whole thing with like, I feel like they definitely succeed in characterization for like the main trio of 358.
Yeah.
Rocky, Axel, and Shion, definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely the most
As
engaging
much as
part.
that one line, like, who else will I have ice cream with, gets memed to hell. You know, people have, like, you know...
But it's like...
By saying, like, as far as Roxas knows, again, like, he's kind of like a baby.
Yeah,
so
eating ice cream with people is, like, his idea of friendship.
Friends do.
Yeah.
It's just, like, an actual symbol of friendship.
So this is genuinely, like, an incredibly, like, traumatizing moment for Roxas.
Yeah.
Right. There's that whole thing with like Shion where it's like everyone has to forget her, which happens a lot in anime where it's like the sacrifice is like, oh, not only will you die, but everyone will forget about you.
Yeah, and that's also really heartbreaking. Because like during the fight, like Roxas forgets that he's fighting Shion, and then after the fight when Shion is dying, he then remembers and he's like, oh my god, what did I do?
And during the Riku fight at the very end, he was just like, dude, who are you even fighting for? And then Roxas shrugs and answers like, see, don't even remember her name at this point. I do think I remember people memed on Roxas for that one line in the Kingdom Hearts 2 boss fight where he's like, I beat a Riku once. Like, no, you fucking didn't.
Bro, you got your ass beat.
My guy, as soon as he went Super Saiyan into Ansem, he just like slapped your ass. Also, can we talk about how in that scene in 358, when Riku turns into Ansem, he summons the Guardian?
Yeah.
Yep, and the implications that has later.
But I guess Riku turning into Ansem just gives him the same thing. I mean, that makes sense, I guess, yeah.
Also, him transforming into Ansem and doing that was like permanent for him. At least for a good while. The implications of the Guardian after Kingdom Hearts 3, that was crazy.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
That, wow. The game, the whole thing is like, you go on a mission-to-mission basis, Roxas slowly, like, develops into a functional human being, oh wait, I forgot one line, it's never voiced, but I still remember that funny line where it's like that early mission with Zexion, where Zexian's explaining what a nobody is, like, nobody, that's not very nice. Still love that line.
There's a lot of funny scenes with the organization members that didn't really make the cut into the movie, like the Roxas stick line.
Like how to each Roxas limit mode, Zexion just smacks Roxas in the face.
Yeah, you just...
Yes.
I'd say in terms of story, it's definitely peak
There are some
plot.
frustrating bosses, thing with like the inventory, but I feel like
That is kind of weird.
I don't know. I think it's good, like especially for the story, and it also gave us Organization Moogle, so.
That's true. I love Organization.
10 out of 10.
He is
just
adorable.
For that.
SL, what are your final thoughts on the game?
I never played 358, but I imagine I would have enjoyed it.
Alright, so next up on the list is Birth by Sleep. Another game where you play as someone that looks like Roxas.
Birth by Sleep was one of my favorite games in the series. It's so good.
Definitely. It's definitely up there
fun.
for me. It brought like a pretty important gameplay style, like the command deck menu.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just definitely like, I feel like was a cool way to bring in like the card mechanic from Recom while also keeping in like, yeah, this is still like an action.
It's Recom, but better.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, SL.
I feel like you're saying that
So
just
you gotta
because of
do
me.
it. Come on, man. The game has a whole new trio introduced, Terra, Aqua, and Ven, and they are being taught by Master Ericus to become Keyblade Masters. So the whole thing with being the Keyblade's chosen one is just thrown out the damn window at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
At this point, every Keyblade wielder we've seen before Birth by Sleep had some connection to Sora or Riku.
they still do, I think. They still very much do.
You could even, like, before Birth by Sleep, you can even explain Kairi getting a Keyblade. Like, oh, well, she was inside, well, her heart was inside Sora's body for a while, so maybe she picked it up. I don't know.
Well, they still do explain how she got a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts.
Right, but I'm
in
saying
Birth
like
by
before
Sleep.
Birth by Sleep, could have made that the context. But
Yeah.
now with the whole, you can be taught to use a Keyblade. But okay.
I think the reason why that sort of retcon happened was because the story was getting grander and grander, and Nomura just kind of had to come up with a way for it to like stuff to sort of match it.
Apparently,
Right.
Nomura also wrote how Sora and Riku got their Keyblades before everything else.
So yes, so Terra and Aqua are taking the Master's exam, which is a lot different here than it is in Dream Drop. But okay.
That's why Jensen isn't a master anymore, because he's too cruel.
I like him. Yeah, it's just like a different form of teaching. Like Ericus is like, yeah, just slap a few balls around and there you go, you're Keyblade Master.
Yeah.
Like,
Meanwhile, Yensid is just like, I'm sending you on a life or death mission. Good luck. You need it.
You may die. You may die.
And then there's
Sora
also
almost does.
the old man from the Kingdom Hearts 2 post-credit scene who turns out to be Xehanort, but he looks way different from the Kingdom Hearts 2 flashbacks. But there's a reason for that.
We'll get into
and
it.
we'll see Darth Vader dude again, whose name is Vanitas, who's voiced by Haley Joel Osment, the same person as Sora. Don't worry, it's not that
It's not that
long until you
confusing.
find out the mystery.
Same voice actor.
It's literally just his voice actor wanted to play a villain for once, and Nomura's like, I got you, bro.
Oh yeah, that's
I got you, homie. Haley Joel Osment and Nomura are like bros.
Yeah.
Xehanort corrupts the floating balls of light to make them evil, and Ven jumps in to help his two best buddies destroy them. And then Eric is like, okay, never mind, just fight each other. And so Terra and Aqua fight. Terra uses the darkness, so he doesn't become a master, but Aqua does. And this happens again in Dream Drop Distance, but in reverse, I guess. Anyway.
Kinda.
Kind of.
Anyway, Terra's outside, sulking like, damn it, I couldn't become a master. Xehanort comes out like, hey, dude. This is pretty cool if you ask me, and then just walks off without further explanation.
Yeah, Xehanort just shows up in his face like, hey kid, want to see a dead body?
Yeah, and then 5 seconds after Ericus just walks out of frame, Terra gets called in, and Ericus is like, we have an important business to attend to. There's urgent matters in like other worlds. I tried to contact Xehanort, but he's already gone. Like, he was just here. All right.
Oh, I literally just talked to him, Ericus.
Typical.
Hold on. Terra's like, hold on, I'll go run out and get him.
Oh, he's gone.
Eric is like, hey Terra, you handle this, I'll make you a Keyblade Master. This is your chance to redeem yourself. And Terra runs out, like, yippee! And then he turns to Aqua like, hey, keep an eye on him. Just make sure he doesn't fuck up. And then Vanitas breaks into Ven's room like, hey dude,
Bullies
Terra
him
might
to
be
death,
evil.
and bullies him
I
to
don't know
make
if
him
you knew
leave.
that. And so Ventus runs out, you see Terra turn into the lingering well and then fly off on his hover bike, and Ventus goes after him, and then Aqua goes after both of her children, and then
that is... Also, Birth by Sleep introduced a neat little thing where there was technically 3 campaigns.
Yep.
One where you play as Terra, one where you play as Ventus, one where you play as Aqua, which is, in my opinion, the recommended order.
They aren't just like all 3 are the same. They do play differently. Like
Terra's slow but hits really hard.
and it's focused on mobility, and Aqua is focused on magic.
Yeah.
Yep.
And personally, I think the recommended order.
You with when you get to select a character, that is the order you choose. You go in, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Terra, Ven, Aqua.
There you go. We saved you all the trouble of having to make the choice yourself.
After all the Disney Worlds, you go to Radiant Garden, the 3 meet up again. All 3 bicker with each other like we were just now with Recom. And then go their separate ways because they hate each other now. Terra fights Ig and gives him his scar and stuff. And Xehanort is just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make you a master because you're epic for using darkness. And then walks off.
Cool.
And then him and Break have a moment. And he's just like, hey, I don't even remember the conversation they had, so let's just skip it. Ventus is being sad and alone when he meets Lee and Isa. And
those
at
names
first,
might sound
it was-
familiar.
Yeah, like the whole thing with like Axel is like before Kingdom Hearts 3, there was that whole joke where it's like, oh man, he didn't have Ben memorized, but it turns out he did. But
Yeah,
And
you
there's
know.
this whole hint of them sneaking into the castle, which doesn't become important until Kingdom Hearts 3, but whatever.
Still not that
And
important
Aqua
yet.
Then all three of the characters, when they go to Olympus Coliseum, meet Zack from Final Fantasy Crisis Core, which you should totally play on the PlayStation Portable,
PSP.
right? Or was it the Vita?
I think it was
Alright,
the
okay.
Vita.
I think it was that as well.
It was either or. It was either them.
And also Zack is low-key being a player towards Aqua in that scene, which is weird because he's a kid.
Oh, okay, alright. But you know what? Man, if I met Aqua, I wouldn't blame him.
That's fair.
I can't understand.
But
That's fair. That's fine.
Axolotal is just like the two extremes between us. Just
I know.
Like, okay, to play devil's advocate here.
I am both.
He's the bi
He
connection
is
between
both.
gay
He
and
is
straight.
almighty.
It all connects.
Anyway, so yeah, the whole thing where it's like, so then you go to the Keyblade Graveyard. But before that, you all three go to Destiny Islands at different times. Terra's the first to go there and gives Riku the ability to use a Keyblade. And before that, in Radiant Garden, Aqua met Kairi. Little Kairi touched the Keyblade, so then she ends up with the Keyblade later on.
Yeah, she got
That's how it
accidentally
works, I guess.
bequeathed, and Riku literally got bequeathed.
And then Sora just missed out because Aqua met the two, and she's like, "No, I'm not gonna give you a Keyblade because
It's gonna
fuck
cause
you,
a rift in their
Sora."
friendship.
Yeah, and then Ventus is there, but he doesn't get to meet them because
Vanitas is a bully again.
fuck him, I guess. But he gets to meet Vanitas. Vanitas gets to taunt him again before leaving, you know, as he usually does. And Ventus also finds out his heart was separated, and the dark part of his heart was made into Vanitas. And Xehanort's plan was to have the two, now one pure light, one pure dark, to fight each other in order to become the Keyblade, spelled with an X.
The X,
because
yeah,
it's
X.
funny.
And and we do get to see like the Keyblade sort of be recompleted, but not completely in that game.
Yeah, there's
It
still-
felt
there's,
this, rusty filter to it.
Yeah,
And it
there's
has
also
a
like
lot of
fragments
design.
missing of the blade.
It also has a lot of
And it
design
gets- and it
similarities
gets
to Kingdom
destroyed
Hearts.
at the end of like Ven and Vanitas' battle, which during that final battle we see underneath Vanitas' helmet, and he looks like Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora. Huh?
We'll get into it.
But he has purple
That
hair
at
now.
the very beginning of the game, when Xehanort was just hauling around Ventus at Destiny Islands, Sora was just born, and so filled in
Literally saved Ven's life.
missing heart with his own. Which I'm surprised the baby knew to do that, but you know what? Sora is a good boy. He just knew.
He's literally a ray of sun. He's literally a ray of light.
Yep.
Yes. So yes, then everything happens, and you know, Ericus dies, except kinda, not really, but
He basically becomes a force ghost.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
fitting,
makes
since-
sense. Which makes sense. He's voiced by Mark Hamill.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, everything happens in a final battle that we saw in the Kingdom Hearts 2 post-credit scene. Terra gets his body taken over by Xehanort, leading to like the young-looking Xehanort we saw in Kingdom Hearts 2. Terra is able to keep himself semi-intact through the lingering will. That's his
We get
armor.
the most raw line in the series. Your heart succumbs, your body submits. So why does your mind resist? And it's so
Oh,
good.
hell yeah.
So cool.
But and then Aqua has to fight Breg, who does he have the golden eye now at the finale of Birth by Sleep?
I don't think
He
so.
does.
Does he?
I think it's in a Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, okay, all right. But yeah, and then Mickey chimes in to help because he's been in the game a little bit.
Aqua
and-
also fights possessed Ven.
Which
Oh,
was
yes,
awesome.
Yeah, that's right. But then Ven defeats Vanitas inside his heart, and then both just go into a coma. And so Aqua's like, where the hell do I put him? And Jensen's like, hey, you know, Land of Departure kind of dying out there. So Aqua goes back to Land of Departure, turns it into Castle Oblivion. Which, did you guys even see that coming?
I
didn't-
did not,
oh, no,
but
I
it was
had no
awesome.
idea.
Yeah, I didn't either, but it was really cool when it happened. And then she placed Ventus in some room that nobody was able to find, and she was just like, "Don't worry, I'll come get you and wake you up someday." Except that took like 10 years. But I guess.
I mean, to
being
be
in that
fair,
room
it only
with
took.
Oblivion, time doesn't flow in there, so Ventus was all good.
To be fair, like, the 10 years wasn't really her fault.
Exactly, I know, but so yeah, she fights Terranort. She, in order to save his life, she's the one who falls into the realm of darkness. Because time flows differently there. She only ages like a few days in the span of 10 years in the real world, real world.
Yeah, she was there for a good while.
Mm-hmm.
Meets Ansem the Wise, and they're all like, "Man, Sora's pretty cool, isn't he?" Cut to black. See you next game.
Also, I think was Birth by Sleep the one that gave the in-canon explanation as to why Sora can use two Keyblades?
Yeah, I think it was because the whole Ventus's heart thing.
Yeah, so was Sora able to even have a Keyblade in the first place because of Ven, or is it just because like the Keyblade chose him because Riku fucked
It
off?
was that whole thing in Kingdom Hearts 1 where it's like the Keyblade
Went to Sora instead, because Riku's heart fell to darkness.
And on top of that, he also had the potential to be a Keyblade user because of Ven's heart inside him. So
Yeah.
So both.
And that's why you can have two. Yeah, both. Which is why it's really cool because Sora isn't like some kind of chosen one in a way. He's like what Riku says. He's just
make you believe that he was.
Like Riku says, he's just the delivery boy, but then it becomes so much more.
And gameplay-wise, it was really fun. The worlds were pretty short. Stitch was there, so 10 out of 10 just for that.
Yeah.
That's really it about Birth by Sleep. There's not really
Good
much
game.
to say.
I do want to say I like the melding that they put into it.
Oh, we all agree on that.
Great. Huh?
We agree that Aqua is like the best female character in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, absolutely.
True.
Okay, great. All right, now moving on now.
Wait. I wanted to say that the melding I like in Birth by Sleep.
Oh, yeah, I love the melding too.
I did like that idea. I don't like how you don't know like what synthesis material will give you what ability, but outside of that.
I mean, to be fair, there is tons of wikis out there now that tell you.
Yeah, I just
now,
used the guide when I streamed it.
However, playing Aqua's route and then getting Raging Storm after knowing about the Raging Storm exploit was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh yeah, it's so good, dude.
I love it. Just spamming the movement button.
I just went unga bunga, just using all my skills all at once.
Yeah.
Okay, to move on to another game out of the command deck menu, Recoded.
Woo!
It's a game.
So, for those who don't know, Recoded is based on its name, it is a remake of Kingdom Hearts Coded, an episodic mobile game for old Japanese flip phones.
And then it was put on the DS.
Because that's the closest thing we have to the Japanese flip phone.
So that's actually the reason why the story feels so disconnected to the other games until like the final level at Data Castle Oblivion. Again, these worlds came out episodically. So
Yeah.
when that final episode got released, the one at Castle Oblivion, for the mobile game, 358 and Birth by Sleep were already out. So they can make that ending with like what the letter that Sora got at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 was all about.
Yeah.
So yeah, until that final level at Castle Oblivion, it was just a fun mobile game to pass the time while you're riding on the train or something.
And then Kingdom Hearts 3 made that game super important.
It didn't have to be. It could have just been its own thing. But oh boy, they just decided nope.
All because of San Francisco. All because of San Francisco.
Still my favorite world, but you made Recoded relevant.
Right.
God bless you. God bless you, big
until Kingdom Hearts 3, Recoded just didn't matter like at all.
Yeah, it was literally the Sonic 06 retcon kind of thing.
Right, yeah. Data Sora and Data Riku. I mean, yeah, there was just Sora and Riku, I guess.
Yeah.
The whole, I will say goddamn, the word hurt. Jesus.
I'm pretty.
They loved it, man.
Yeah. I do like that scene with Data Sora and Data Roxas, where it's like it's time for you to learn what real heart feels like.
Yeah.
And just Jesse McCartney's performance in that is so fucking good.
It's so
I
good.
will also say, so in terms of gameplay, because there isn't much story going on here, sadly.
Yeah.
But gameplay-wise, it's pretty fun. I will say, Recoded.
Yeah, it's one of the more fun
there's-
games from what I've heard. I haven't played it myself,
Yeah,
but
it's the
like,
command deck menu, but instead of like the whole like meld, well, no, the melding thing is also there. But on top of that, there's also like the command deck, like little like system thing. What was it called?
I forgot.
Oh, name.
But I do know you could change your level in that game, like in Twilight.
Right,
and
yes.
that was
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean,
I think that was a Kingdom Hearts game that had like the most like difficulty changing options ever.
yeah, it was.
right.
You could do so much to adjust that game's difficulty. It was insane.
It was really cool. The whole like going into like little digital virus spots to fight Heartless under challenges and everything. to
Also,
get,
its
like,
music low-key slapped.
Yeah, it does.
Also, the worlds were all like a different type of like gameplay style.
Yeah, like
Like,
they have like
yeah,
little mini games in each of them, and then it play a bit differently.
Like a
Yeah,
turn-based
like-
RPG in Olympus.
Yeah,
which
like
is,
yeah,
actually
Olympus was a
really
turn-based RPG. Traverse Town was a platformer, stuff like that.
cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
I mean, yeah. Outside of that, there isn't really much to talk about with Recoded.
It had that really good my friends my power scene in it though. I really like that
Oh,
one.
yeah,
That one
definitely.
was a personal favorite of mine.
So remember when Nico B, the Let's Player, was like watching the cutscenes from the from like the remaster, the re-releases.
Yeah.
He made that
Yeah.
joke where it's like, so what? Is Data Sora gonna connect the real Sora? Now he can wield 3 Keyblades. He's just gonna become Zoro from One Piece.
I mean,
Hey,
Final Form in
me
Kingdom
out.
Hearts 3,
What is
Final
being
Form Kingdom
cool?
Hearts 2, Final Form in Kingdom Hearts 2. You do have 3 Keyblades.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh. How about that?
Wow. About that.
So he was right, and he didn't even know it.
Okay.
That was before Recoded.
Exactly.
Not screw Recoded. We're moving on Dream Dog Distance now.
That we
Time travel.
talked enough about
Right,
Recoded.
boys?
Recoded is a funny game. That's all.
Okay, Dream Dog Distance. We all saw like the whole young Xehanort twist just coming a mile away, right? As soon as
Yep.
he took off the hood and showed who he was, we all knew.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Time travel thing. Oh my god.
Again, the story just kept getting grander, so Nomura just had
They
to
had to, like-
bring stuff in.
Or I had to come up with a reason for how they could make a whole new Organization 13 without introducing like a ton of new characters.
Mhm.
So you're just like
Yeah.
time travel.
Time travel. We're gonna
baby.
bring back some of the old members.
I like to imagine that the reason most of the organization we see at the very end of Dream Drop didn't take off their hoods is because Nomura hadn't settled on who's who yet.
Yeah. He knew
I
like
do
who
think-
like 5 of them were gonna be, but he hadn't decided the other 8. So it was just like, yeah, hoods.
Okay.
Also,
Dream Drop
also
did-
Dream. Also,
Sorry.
Dream Eaters like became super dark after the mobile games.
Yep.
Oh god, yeah.
Yep.
Which is actually next up on our list. So it
Wait,
won't be
wait.
that
Before
long.
we go, before we go to there, can we talk about how the 2 characters show up in Traverse Town?
Yes, that's
Yes,
what I was about
yes,
to bring up.
yes.
That was really cool.
All of us are Twilight fans. That was my introduction to Twilight,
Same.
Yes.
Also, my
Uh,
friend
which
in
was
my
a,
class who
which
hadn't
contained a
played it.
huge spoiler for Joshua that I didn't realize.
Oh my god, it really
Yeah, they
did.
just-
Jeez.
They just casually reveal he's God.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just straight up like, oh yeah, I
Jesus, my
brought,
guy, you didn't
I
know?
moved to a different universe. It's all good.
I created the whole Reapers game, started the underground, killed Neku. You're not supposed to know.
When you know, I
Did you
got
guys-
a heart, so I decided I was gonna keep them here to keep them safe and shit, you know, as you do.
After playing Twilight and then they went back to replay Dream Drop Distance, that's when I noticed the cat mural was in Traverse Town. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, so flow motion. Flow motion is the thing.
Yeah, it's slow motion.
That's this game. And it's fun, but it was
really
pretty busted in Dream Drop.
Oh, they definitely built the combat around slow motion.
Yeah. I don't think it was a bad thing necessarily because I love doing it.
Dune was also busted. I mean, the command deck was pretty cool in Dream Drop, but the command deck, Balloon was busted as hell.
I personally think-
in particular.
I personally think in Dream Drop Distance, that's when they perfected the command deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cause like you didn't have to, cause like instead of like crafting them, you could just, yeah, it heavily recommended getting more Dream Eaters so you can get more commands and stuff, which I think is a lot better.
I'm not sure. Like, okay, like a command, like special commands being locked behind like Dream Eater shards. That's fine. Locking like abilities like Second Chance and stuff behind them. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
That's true, but then again, it wasn't like in I think in Birth by Sleep where you had to like max out the level on the command to actually keep the ability. You just kept the ability once you got to it, I think.
You keep certain abilities.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the stuff like Second Chance and stuff that has like a gameplay effect. But like with Fire Boost or something.
Yeah, okay,
also,
like there's the abilities like Second Chance and Once More, you keep those forever, but Second Chance like Fire Screen or like Thunder Boost,
Right,
that Dream Eater have to be in your party for it to activate.
Yeah.
The worlds in here were pretty neat.
I love the Tron world in this one. I loved it.
That was a pretty good
I personally loved it.
It's also one of the few Disney bosses you get to fight.
Yeah. You actually got to explore Prankster's Paradise, and I loved how huge it was. It was so fun just zipping around it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dream Eaters were introduced.
I love them.
Like,
The Scrunchies. Fun fact, did you guys know you could actually get Twilight themed Dream Eaters in that game?
No.
I think. Like I think you can get you know the sort of like weird like lanky lizard one. I think you can actually unlock one that looks like Neku.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or like has like Neku colors and he has like his headphones.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, or you can also get or you can also get an elephant one that has Rhyme's hat.
Oh,
Or no, it has
that's
Beat's hat.
cute.
It has Beat's hat, I think. Either Beat or Rhyme's hat.
That's so
They
cute.
have the same hat in Tweety one, don't they?
They should have made her a shark. They should have made her a shark. I'm just gonna say it. They should have
Axel,
made her a shark.
too soon.
Too soon. It's always too soon.
I know. It
Alright,
is.
alright. So the fact of the matter is, aside that, it is weird how the only like secret boss you really get in this game is Julius, Zombie Pete,
Yeah.
Frankenstein Pete,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
It's cool when like it's like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that, but then it's like, really, we don't get like some kind of lore.
Yeah, no
Nope,
lore.
He just exists.
It's a lore, Nomura.
I don't think there was even actually secret reports in that game. There was just like stuff that like explained previous events of the previous game.
Chronicles.
There was one like that chronicle mode that explain and a glossary section to explain like what the hell was going on. Or
Also-
just, like, this is what a keyblade is.
Yeah, also, can we all agree that this Dream Drop Distance was more Riku's game than Sora's?
Oh,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like it was intended to be Riku's game, but then
Yeah.
somebody on one of the executives of Square Enix like, why are you excluding Sora? We gave you a pass with Roxas, but you need to have Sora in this game. It's like, fine. And so he introduced the drop mechanic, which, oh my god.
I actually really like the drop mechanic. I think the ideal way to use it is to like clear a set of worlds with one character, have drop me nuts. Always have drop me nuts.
So,
and then
there-
and then drop, so you have a bunch of drop points to spend.
So, do you want to know something that I saw?
But
What?
There's these live streamers that I like, and they played through the Kingdom Hearts series, so obviously they got the Dream Drop Distance at one point, and they did not use Drop Me Nots, ever.
Are they insane?
I know.
Oh my god.
Just
They
no,
not
we
know
just
they
don't want to use
existed,
Drop Me
or they
Nots.
were really doing like a challenge thing.
I don't even think it was a challenge, I just think they were being stubborn.
Oh my god.
They're such a useful item though.
I know. Like,
I mean, I
can't
get the complete-
imagine a deck in Dream Drop Distance without having Drop Me Nots.
Yeah, I mean I get like maybe not wanting to waste it, not wanting to use an inventory like a deck slot on them, but like still they're so useful that you might as well.
Now, keep in mind, like, yeah, they only stream 2 hours, and yeah, they only, like, and they could be
Speaking
to
of 2
cover
hours, we've been
content and
recording.
stuff. But, like,
We're recording for 2 hours, so I
still.
think we might want to make the next few segments pretty short.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But okay, so Dream Drop Distance pretty good. It has some game mechanics we're not a fan of, but hey, I mean, it's
I
fine.
love them all. Its story was really good. It was about Sora and Riku's Mark Mastery exam, how it was very brutal,
Right,
and
yeah.
Sora almost fell to darkness
Okay, I
completely.
wanted to say quickly, I won't dwell onto this too much. I kind of wish Sora did fall into darkness. I feel like it would have made
That
an
would've been
interesting
cool, but then we
story.
would have like 2 Vanitases, which would have been weird.
Okay, fair.
It's true.
Okay, so Kingdom Hearts. I'm just gonna say X to make this less confusing.
Yeah. Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts Mobile.
Let's just lump in back cover, Unchained, and Dark World into this part, so they're all basically the same game,
Yep.
at least gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with like this is basically just big lore game.
Yeah. The
It's
gameplay
just
in those mobile
setting up,
games.
like the next big story arc of the series, like the
Yeah.
Masters, and
So
everything.
these games are like the prequels before the prequels.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like,
It's like-
pretty much the start of everything so far.
Yeah.
As far as
So I think Dark Road explains Xehanort's origins completely. And I think did they release the final chapter of it recently?
I think they
Not
have.
sure. I haven't heard.
Either they
I
have
don't
or
think
they're
they-
going to soon.
Yeah, and then back cover was I think back cover was a movie they made.
That didn't actually cover like the story of the game. It just covered like parts of the game that
It focused on the
were covered in
foretellers.
the game.
Yeah,
the
the
actual
foretellers, who are going to be very important recently
Right.
coming up. And then
the whole thing with like Lushu, who becomes very important later, and his relationship with the Masters. Masters is a guy, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
He be funny, man.
he's very funny. And then also Kingdom Hearts. Also, the mobile game is very important because it explains a lot of characters' backstories. We get to
Right.
see the non-nobody versions of Larxene and Marluxia.
and Roxine, yeah.
And we
see, like Marluxia's sister, who wasn't referenced.
Strelitzia.
Yeah.
Oh, she was technically referenced in the Chain of Memories through like his final box form.
Yep, like I said, we'd get back. We'd get back
I
to that.
never knew that.
Aside from
Also-
that, like his whole motivation in Unchained was to like find his sister because for some reason she wasn't rescued and put into like this virtual world. Which goddamn, they did it again.
Yep.
Another
and,
simulation.
There was also
It also-
Ephemer and Scold.
Beloved.
It's been a while since I watched the cutscenes online, so I don't really have a take on their character all too much.
I think they're
love
cool.
Ventus was also there.
And then Ven's there just because.
and there's,
Ben kills somebody accidentally because
Yep.
darkness takes control over him. That's gonna be
And-
traumatizing once he remembers that.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe he
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Then there's what? Brian? What was his name?
Brain.
Brain.
Oh, Brain. Okay. Somehow Brian sounds less stupid. But whole thing where it's like he knew ahead of time like someone was a traitor or something, or what? Did he want to be like the virus? Or what was it?
Something. I think. Lucio eventually took control over him or some shit like. Yeah, Lucio eventually took control
At
over
the
his
very
body.
end of the game, Lucio just shows up. It's like, hey, hey, I'm gonna need you for something, and then just takes him over for a bit.
And then we get to see baby Xehanort.
Right.
Yep.
His mom. Can you believe that we've seen Xehanort's mom and not Sora's yet?
Honestly,
And
yeah.
we also-
After
and
this
we
whole
also learned-
podcast, yeah.
And also, the player in the mobile games basically becomes Xehanort.
You are Xehanort.
Well, I think like
Oh,
your
no,
player
he becomes Xehanort. Your player character becomes Xehanort. That's right.
and all the other player characters essentially become Dream Eaters.
That's right. You chose to be reincarnated, and you reincarnated into Xehanort. That's it. That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
So Zora just beat the shit out of your main character at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Think about that.
Which makes the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 super meta.
Yeah.
Can I also say,
Zora's better than all of you combined.
so
Go ahead, SL.
I'm gonna make the mobile game really sad for you, or well, and Birth by Sleep, both pretty sad for you guys now.
Yeah.
So you know how Ven shows up in Birth by Sleep era.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he wanted to show up in a time where he and all his friends can be happy. Remember who he meets first when he comes back? When he comes back in that time?
Oh no.
No!
Yup.
That's so funny.
Damn.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Damn.
He
That
meets
is
Xehanort
actually
first.
fucked.
Bro.
And then he gets betrayed by his last remaining technically friend.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're welcome.
That is actually messed up.
It is. Yeah.
It definitely was just like big setup for like the next big story arc after Kingdom Hearts 3, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, the Lost Masters arc, which Strelitzia is going to be super important now. Finally.
Thank God. Okay, so that's all we really gotta say because I haven't played the game. I don't have any comment on the game.
I tried to play it, but it got way too grindy, like at level like 200.
I played it a bit too. I didn't like the medal system, but I
Yeah.
stopped once I got the Twilight medal that played that remix of Twister because I was like,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Oh damn, yeah, don't.
I got that
wonder.
as well.
Okay, so 0.2. It was. We're gonna just not talk about this because it's basically just a tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, where Aqua was just suffering in the dark room. Mickey kind of came to help, but then he lost his shirt. It's like, you know what? Screw you, Aqua. Bye.
The only important thing is that you can dress up Aqua and cat ears. That's all. That should convince you.
And that's it.
That's it. That's the game.
0.2, just know that that's a feature.
Cat ear Aqua.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
Kingdom Hearts
Big
3.
Boy, Kingdom Hearts 3, Yahoo.
Ooh.
It's become pretty divisive.
I love it.
I love it as
It's one
well.
of my favorite games in the series.
I love it for what it is, for sure. But it definitely has become like pretty divisive in the fan base, especially.
I think especially at the Remind, it did a great job at
Oh,
concluding,
yeah, it definitely did a great
at
job
concluding that
redeeming
saga.
Kingdom
Mhm.
3. But what was that? Like that hour, like several hour-long video of that dude just being like, "Man, Kingdom Hearts 3 sucks. You guys
Yeah.
are wrong." Like,
He called Kingdom
Nomura
Hearts
released-
3 a waste of effort, but yet made a 5-hour video on it.
that's it. That was it. That was the title. It was like waste of effort.
I like how everyone was complaining about Kingdom Hearts 3 being too easy, so then Nomura made critical mode and then made everyone cry.
Yuzora, just being like Noctis in a Riku cosplay. I cannot get that image out of my head now.
Nomura's finally gonna get to make Final Fantasy 13 verses.
Yeah.
Yay! With Luxord as the taxi driver.
Yay! He's fine. See, that card will help Sora.
Oh damn! That's his. It's gonna be like a compass that points to Luxord.
That's gonna be Sora's out in Quadratum. That card.
Oh,
I'm calling it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Like some kind of thing like tie him back. Yeah. Okay. Before that, there's that whole thing where like, God, Riku's just kind of useless, huh?
Yeah.
He did good for what he did.
I never considered it till now, but yeah.
Yeah, he didn't really do much. The focus was very much on Sora for this one.
I
like
mean, it is
very
his
much.
Makes
game.
sense. He's the main character, and this is like the big wrap up for like the first big story arc. We've been waiting years for this finale, kind of, but I don't know. Kai could have done something. I mean, she does kind of remind, but
Even
yeah.
then, that's a choice, and someone who doesn't really like Kairi, I just didn't play as her.
I did play- I thought the game was
got
actually
a
fun.
relatively happy ending, aside from Sora, who just dies.
Yeah.
That bro got snapped. He got Thanos snapped.
Fucking Thanos,
Yes.
goddamn it.
It wasn't because Sora abused the power of waking, no, it was just the
Just
adventures
Thanos just having
are
his
are
fingers
happening, and
right
Sora
time.
was the unlucky 50%.
Yeah. Just him, by the way.
Yeah, no
just
one else in
him.
Kingdom Hearts.
But I think it did do a great job at bringing back a lot of important characters. Like Shion came back, and that
Right.
included a
Mhm.
very important story arc.
Remember when
And
people were upset about like Final Fantasy characters not being in the game until like Remind came out?
I mean,
I did think that kind of sucked, but they weren't really that important anyways.
Like the Kingdom Hearts 3 story definitely worked without them.
no, wait, no,
I-
there is one Final Fantasy character in the base game. They mentioned Cloud for like 5 seconds.
And
Orin.
And Orin, yeah.
2 technically, but whatever.
The
that whole
Moogles.
thing-
Moogles.
Okay,
And
yeah,
Three.
there you go. 3. There you go. Other than that, Axel's whole thing, where he's like, you know how popular I am.
That was so meta.
That is
was
the
so
best
meta.
line.
Either matter, I am
Definitely.
so upset that all we got from the base game with Roxas and Ventus was them looking at each other and being confused. Like,
hated
say
it.
something, damn it.
Because that was what I was looking forward to the most. I was looking forward to them
And-
having to explain that,
And then
but
they
no.
get like 2
Yeah.
bits of dialogue between each other, like during Remind, and that's it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm admitting right here, right now, I cried during the BBS trio reunion and the Days trio reunion.
Of course.
Like immediately, like the music and everything, especially in the fight we get to play as the Days trio. The
yeah,
music
that's,
versus one.
It's just the
so
utter
good.
promise again.
Oh,
Like, did you
Yeah.
notice it also has remnants of it also has pieces of Axel's battle theme. I think 13th struggle or 13th. I think it's 13th struggle.
Yeah, Searching
It
Struggle.
has bits of 13th. Yeah.
so,
It's so good.
I like how Syax, when he dies, is just being like, hey man, what about me, man? I thought we were cool, and then just dies.
Oh, fun fact: if he
He
used
comes back and now he's just part of the friend group.
if you use the Days Trio team attack, thinking of you on Sykes, Axel will end it by saying, Isa, wake up, and it's super cool.
Yeah.
Aww. And during that little scene between Axel and Syax, they reference this girl they used to know back when they were somebody's teenagers. And
That is,
I think the theory is like it's Scold or somebody from like the past.
Scold is
From
definitely
the
Subject
football
X.
game.
Scold is definitely Subject X. I firmly believe it.
It's definitely possible, yeah.
Who do you think Subject X is? That's out.
She's really the only. Like Sterlitzia is in Quadratum, so she's automatically off the list.
Okay, well then, yeah, it has to be Scold then. If it's not
Yeah,
Strelitzia. Because it's between those two.
Because there's only like 3 important like female characters outside of the player character. There's Sterlitzia, there's Scold, and then Elreen, who becomes Larcene, who's already on the team. It would be weird if it was her.
I'm pretty sure there was someone in Dark Road 2, this girl character. I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, there is a there is a girl. I don't think it's her
It
though.
was revealed at the end of chapter 1 that everyone aside from Xehanort and Ericus in that game just died.
Yeah, like they're just there for a chapter.
There's a graveyard scene at the end of chapter 1.
So yeah, it's Scold.
Yeah, it's
I
gotta
love
be.
how that's a sweet bit of irony with Woody's line, like, I bet you just like darkness because no one loved you. I'm like, damn. Just thinking about all those friends Xehanort lost, bro.
Yeah.
Damn. But oh yeah, Pixar Worlds became a thing in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I
For
loved
the better.
it.
Yeah.
For the better.
I
loved how they handled Toy Story. It was great.
Yeah, I found it funny how Frozen legit included a whole song number. It wasn't like the musical world like Atlantica, but they still included Let It Go, which, god damn it.
That
Yeah,
looked
just
exactly
out of
like
nowhere.
the Let It Go song in the movie.
It was just Nomura being like, let's brag about our graphics a bit.
Yeah, it looked exactly like the Let It Go number in the movie.
Yeah.
I hate even more how it was included in Melody of Memory.
Oh my god. Oh god, it was.
I had to cut that out of my Let's Play because I knew I'd get copyrighted for
My
it.
head now. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. It's fun. It's good. It's not one of my favorites, but it's fun. I definitely like Remind.
Yeah, I think Remind definitely fixed a lot of
score and
things.
everything.
It was a great way of leading into the next saga.
That's definitely.
Quadratum, and even then, like in the secret cutscene where Sora's in Quadratum, he already looks visibly different than before, and
Yeah, he's in the Final Fantasy art
already
style.
transforming. He was already transformed.
Yeah, like the world, like he's slowly getting like transformed the longer he's in this world. Yeah. Oh yeah, Scala Ad Kylo.
Yes,
There's a
An
whole
amazing
Easter egg during the final boss with Xehanort, during the underwater section, where you see like the ruins of Daybreak Town underneath.
Yeah.
Which hinted towards like the Unchained, Unchained.
The ending. Where Daybreak becomes Scala Ad
built the
Kylo,
whole,
right?
like all Scala Ad Kylo over the ruins of Daybreak Town just by himself, I guess.
What a king, honestly. That's a Chad move.
I mean, he must have used the Keyblade, which, I mean, if he did, damn, that Keyblade can do a lot.
Ephemer is, like, unironically, he's powerful.
Yeah, good thing he's a hero as far as we know.
Especially, like, that whole scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 where you're fighting back against the Tide of Darkness with all,
And
like...
he just shows up for a second like, hey, let me help. And then
players in the mobile games are there, like, even their usernames.
Yes, I love that.
I'd like to think they took everybody on the list into account, but they were like, okay, let's remove all the profanities and stuff. We don't want Sex Gamer 69 on the list. We don't want that to be canon to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know, I liked it, yeah.
I really
Very
like
funny,
Kingdom
very
Hearts
good
3.
game. I loved it.
Zigbar killed
It's my
it.
favorite. Zigbar killed it.
For a lot of people, especially like with how
That
divisive
twist
it is.
ending.
The fact that we waited so long for it. But hopefully now expectations are set for Kingdom Hearts 4. It definitely won't take as long.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh, yeah.
None of the problems that plagued Kingdom Hearts 3 are here now, so...
Because
Yeah.
Nomura was just getting pulled around every which way.
Yeah,
at
like
Square Enix.
Nomura isn't
Yeah,
directing
Kingdom Hearts
Final
3
Fantasy 15.
Kingdom Hearts 3
he
had a
isn't-
really...
Sorry, you
Kingdom
go,
Hearts
you
3 had
go
a
first.
really unfortunate development, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, one last thing before we move on. Lushu twist.
Oh, yeah.
That was insane. That was insane. My jaw actually dropped.
Yeah, like...
The only hint, the only like actual like big hint we got was at the very beginning of the game where Zigbar was like about to recite like the "May your heart be your guiding key" line.
Yeah.
Before that, like the only hints we really got were just like his cryptic lines, like, "Man, you know, other Keyblade wielders were cooler than you," or how he, when he looked at Shion, he saw Ventus. But that, you know, back then you're just like, oh, yeah, that's birth by sleep. That doesn't really matter. But now it's just like, oh no.
So
the whole thing was like, Alva is the only one missing when the union leaders meet up again.
That's right. Alpha is the only one missing.
Which, you know, people have been theorizing about. I can't wait for that to be solved. But then,
he could also theoretically be Subject X then.
Oh, that's a good point. It could be Alpha.
possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
So
okay.
Before we,
I'm not really sure because Alva's an adult. Meanwhile, it's like based on how Sayax and Axolotal Subject X is a teenager. Seems like she was around their age. So
that's true.
It's probably gotta be Scold. Okay. So, Kingdom Hearts 3 is over. Melody of Memory. There really isn't a story here outside like the tail end.
Yeah, the last like 10 minutes.
Just a rhythm game, and then they attach some story at the end, kind of like Recoded, where it's just like, oh, Kairi was just searching through her memories of Sora and stuff, and
those last 10 minutes were so good though.
Exactly.
Yeah, they definitely are. But then,
even in Kairi's own game, she doesn't get her own climactic finish. She just channels
Sora.
right?
It's just like Sora takes over for her and fights Xehanort, which is so weird. But okay, we get a flashback with Kairi being in one of those pods from that secret Hollow Bastion room, which is finally being referenced again after all this time. Apparently, it wasn't going to be important in the first saga, but now it is in the second because it's based on what Xehanort said. That pod was basically what centered the Destiny Islands.
Could also theoretically maybe send people to Quadratum.
Right, like it even said, like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna send you to a whole different place, and if you end up on the other side of reality, oops, I don't know.
Oopsies.
I think those pods also sent
berries, and then press the button, sends her off.
I think those pods also sent the people that from the mobile game into wherever they ended up.
Right, yeah, that's it. Like, they were used for, like,
do.
time travel or something. I think.
They all didn't go to the same place, though. They all ended up somewhere different.
Speaking of those pods in 0.2, in like the sort of in the not the Sleeping Beauty, but the Seven Dwarves area.
Oh,
when we see that like little coffin that Ven is in, he's in that pod.
Yeah, no, I only just realized that now. I thought they were just referencing Sleeping Beauty,
or
Snow White.
It references both, which is insane.
Yeah, it's a reference, but like I thought it was just a reference. I didn't think there was any story tied to that, but.
Nomura is actually insane.
Yeah, he really is. But okay, so
before we end off, we have to talk about the most important Kingdom Hearts game, Super Smash Bros.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's where Sora's been between 3 and 4, just hanging out in Smash Bros.
Another important thing.
Sorry.
Another important development. Literally just today, Sora was referencing for Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I saw that just before we started.
It was insane.
Yeah, it's
okay, hold on a minute. Wait, I need to get on Twitter.
So basically, they made a rap song about their new item, the Mexican pizza, and there was a line in the rap where it said "Key to my heart."
There's a line, "Key to my heart," like Sora.
I love that, but I also hate it. Oh my god.
So that means Remy's coming back in Kingdom Hearts 4, and Sora's going to make the Mexican pizza from Taco Bell.
Absolutely.
Sora's going to work at Taco Bell to pay rent.
Oh, that's it. He doesn't work at Starbucks. He works at Taco Bell. I made a tweet about it like a few weeks ago, where it's like, man, I love how Kingdom Hearts, the Kingdom Hearts community is the only one where it's like we see a character enter the real world and we're just like, man, he's got to pay taxes.
Oh boy. He has to pay taxes now, man.
That's more shoes, bro. That's the one tragedy.
I miss him.
Can you guys imagine that, like, we used to be awesome Keyblade wielders and now we just pay taxes?
And I just don't know how to feel about it.
Exactly.
Okay, but yeah, Melody of Memory ends with them going to the final world, Riku, Kairi, and what, the fairy godmother?
Just
from
Riku.
Cinderella. And then Riku talks to this one star person who we thought was Sterlitzia, but she apparently already exists in Quadratum, so I don't know.
He's someone else who's from Quadratum that knows Yozora.
Oh, that's right. Do you think it's like that girl that was seen in like that Baron Rex trailer for Toy Story?
It might be.
Possibly.
Yeah, that it's
The
gotta
not
be it.
Luna.
Yeah, yeah. So, Riku is just like, don't worry, Kairi, I'll take it from here. And then just goes into Quadratum, I think. So, Kairi still doesn't get to do anything.
Sorry, Kyrie, we still can't give you a character yet.
Okay,
I'm still thinking Kairi's gonna get her own game.
The open door of opportunity by having her train under Aqua. So, you know what? Maybe Nomura's gonna finally learn his lesson.
Maybe.
At least the girls in Naruto did something.
Okay, wait a
Come
second.
on, man.
I need to mention there again, those streamers I brought up from Dream Drop Distance when they were reacting to Sora's announcement trailer for Smash, and then literally like when they're all the playable characters get a Station of Awakening except for Kairi,
It's so sad.
and they're just like.
There's
It's like Nomura and Sakurai just in the planning meeting for the stage, and they're just like, what about this? No. Leave her out. The fans will love it.
Did you at least get a spirit?
Yeah, she got a spirit at least, but
Okay,
that's it.
Alright. And she wasn't that. Alright. Okay, how did you guys react to like the Sora thing? I legit jumped out of my seat when like the Keyblade.
I
so
screamed
I
at
was
the
in the
top of
middle-
my lungs. There's a reaction on my channel.
I was in my first hour.
class?
Yeah, I was in my first hour German class, and I was watching the trailer. We weren't really doing anything that day, so I was watching it, and I actively jumped out of my seat and started like hyperventilating basically.
Yeah,
Teacher was like, "Hey, are you okay? What? Did you get an illness?" Like,
my
no,
friend sitting-
Sora's in Smash.
Yeah, my friend next to me had to like calm me down. I was like, oh my god.
Hey, dude, you can play tomorrow. All right, calm down.
like
I was so excited.
I was.
Dude, I remember watching Nico B's stream when the announcement happened.
Yeah.
Bro, he was losing it.
Oh yeah, he was like clinging onto his chair so he didn't fall over.
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Melody Memory was a game that happened. Great music. Vector the Heavens, I was reminded of how great it was.
Mhm.
Music pour las musique pour las de Shion, I think that's what it's called. For like her sadder theme
Yeah.
is also really
right,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Right there.
non-battle version.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 4. Let's go over any hopes we have for that.
Star Wars
the-
is gonna be in it. I'm calling it.
I want this is like the perfect opportunity to include like a wide variety of like live action stuff.
Well,
I need to
okay,
watch
but
Star
also,
Wars.
Also,
Yeah, there was-
in the trailer in that
Sorry.
forest scene, we see what looks like the foot of like one of the like the robot things the Imperial uses on Endor. And also the waterfall and stuff looks like the same waterfalls and stuff you find on Endor as well, with trees.
Yeah, I
So
need to
they-
watch Star
so
Wars.
that's gotta be
maybe, yeah. Oh,
Also, it fits so much because
Mhm.
they have the same themes.
yeah. Master showed up at the very end of that trailer.
Mhm.
Was that Lushu next to him? And there was like two
Probably
black.
Lushu.
I'd have to
Probably
imagine
Lushu.
it is.
Oh, who knows? That might be Ava, right? She's in Quadratum. Who knows?
She is the Lost Master.
She is
Yeah,
the Lost
yeah.
Master.
Masters is just watching over Sora fight Darkseid 2.0 or 4.0, I should say, because it just shows up everywhere.
Yeah.
If I have to fight Ava, I will cry because she's so sweet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But okay, so yes, you see Sterlitzia just walk in, being like, "Hey, your rent's due." I'm like, "Fuck."
The IRS is at the door, Sora.
Avoid rent. Sora just jumps out the window. It's just like, well.
We have confirmation of a build mechanic apparently, which is cool.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
interesting.
just imagine, this is how Kingdom Hearts 4 starts. Sora's just sleeping in the bed. He hears the doorbell. He opens the door. Sterlitzia like, "Hey, rent's due." He jumps out the window. As he spawns, he's like, "Yeah, this is me, Sora. You might be wondering how I got here." That's the actual beginning.
No, it's like Strelitzia shows up. She's like, "Sora, you fucked up big time," and then Sora's just like, "Strelitzia."
So he just like breaks
Sterlitzia.
down crying, and then he's just like, "If you're wondering why, here's a recap."
We also need to talk about how Donald and Goofy are in Olympus again.
Yeah, because
I mean, it makes sense.
that was a
Since
blue
they-
flame. That was
since they got
definitely
the
80s.
underworld.
That blue flame's off in the
It's
80s.
not the underworld, so if you need somebody who's dead, you might as well go to him.
Yeah.
Auron showing up again.
I can't wait to see a realistic duck and dog fighting alongside this boy.
We already got Kingdom Hearts 3, which was hyper-realistic 3D. I don't think I'm ready for, like, hyper-realistic, like, actual, like...
Duck.
Yeah.
Sora is going to
Can you
show
imagine
up in your
going
house
to-
in real life.
No, seriously, listen to me. Could you imagine going to Taco Bell and seeing this guy, and then you see a duck and a dog, like, next to him, like, so, what do you want to order? I'm
Yeah, just this
A
guy...
rat is there as well. There's also a rat.
No, a rat is underneath his, like, little, like, hat that he wears as part of his uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the gameplay, is good, it's fluid, you know, Kingdom Hearts has a given, so...
Just do Kingdom Hearts
Music,
3 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make Kingdom Hearts, but slightly better gameplay-wise. Let's see. So...
Make the spells unique again, because in Kingdom Hearts 3, the spells weren't really that unique, I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
as
were...
in the other games.
They were all stuff that was in a previous game.
Right. Well, outside of water, but, well, no. That was in...
No, what do you mean is, like, I felt like a lot of the spells operated the same in a way, where it's like they just felt like
Yeah.
beams of different element in
Yeah.
a way. I mean, I guess ice did let you do a slow motion slide, and wind did let you, like, jump off of it. But, like, other than that, there wasn't really...
I also thought this
anything
cool
else.
idea, where they do, like, the whole kind of dream drop distance thing, switch between Riku and Sora, where it's like Riku explores, you know, reality, like Disney worlds, meanwhile Sora's going through live action stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
we
that'd be
can still
nice.
meet the Disney quota for this game, at least.
Imagine it takes place in 2001, and we do get to see them hit the Pentagon.
Oh no!
Riku, they hit the
Oh,
fucking
Mr. Andrew
Pentagon!
would clean his pants if that happened, bro. He's like, he'd be like, finally, what I needed. And then the whole thing with like, people make jokes about how it's like when this version of Darkseid showed up, somebody was like on their phone recording things. I even noticed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you know what? If I was in this version of Shibuya, I would record it too, and like make a video about like, look at this giant monster that showed up in the middle of the road.
Okay, one thing I want, I know it's not going to be in 4, but I want the 2E characters to come back, or the Neo 2E characters to show up.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Also,
Also, saying like it's a different version of Shibuya, but then I'm just like, look, man, they went months telling us that Toby and Andrew weren't going to be inspired by No Way Home. I'm not trusting you on this, Nomura.
They might include them, but it might not be the versions of the characters from those games. Like,
Which is fine, as long as they're included at all, you know?
Yeah.
because it's like the Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts are not the same as the Final Fantasy characters from their
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're different.
Also, like,
and that's fine. I don't, as long as it's them, and I'm really hoping they get the voice cast.
Yeah,
which
also,
you
like,
know, they usually do.
Rindo's VA, when someone made a Rindo mod for Kingdom Hearts 3, I think he was like saying he like cried with like
Oh.
getting to play as
That's fair,
Rindo
I
in
would.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'd cry too.
Yeah.
I'd cry
I'm
too.
really hoping like they don't like Akashi Jr. is just like the voice of Rindo for me. So it's like
yeah.
I mean if I just please just keep the cast, the voice cast for like at least the main characters. Which,
I
they
know
usually
I know
do.
they did it for Dream Drop Distance, so I think they would for Kingdom Hearts 4 too, because they did it for Dream Drop Distance. They kept
They
the voices.
usually do like Square Enix is really good at getting like everyone back when they need a character to return with their voice actors.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
the
The only time that didn't happen was like with X's
anime.
original voice actor Billy Zane, but that was because he's
Yeah.
like big time.
Oh yeah. But like everyone from like that was in like the original 2E came back for Neo as well. Like
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
original voice
all the
actors
original
for
cast
sure,
came
yeah.
back for that as well, so
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
surprised they were able to find these guys because like
they haven't really
Only
done
two
much.
voice actors that haven't come back.
you know Miyamoto's voice actor or like was in like a Crispy Crunch commercial outside and then did Tweety stuff, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, and Joshua's voice actor did like TV infomercials.
Right, yeah.
That's funny.
Poor Darby.
And
Darby
I will say,
Darby
like
voice.
with the English voice cast, because I noticed I played a little bit of Neo with the Japanese dub after I beat the game, and it was good. The Japanese voice cast was good, but I preferred the English cast because I still recognized a few of the voices from the Japanese dub, like more than I did with the English. Yeah, I think that's about it from us.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
guess, Axel, if you want to plug
Axel,
yourself first.
thanks for coming on, dude.
No problem. It was a lot of fun coming on.
This, let's be real, this probably won't be the last time you be on the podcast.
Yeah,
definitely.
probably not.
You're contractually
anything you wanna-
obligated to talk to us about like Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah.
Twee, any like Square Enix games.
So
Yeah, everybody.
thank you guys
Thanks
for
for tuning
coming,
in.
checking out this episode. Make sure to follow all of us on YouTube and Twitter, and we'll see you in 2 weeks from now with another episode.